Well, hello there.
Hey, what's crack-a-lackin', my good friend Alex? How are you today?
I am good. How are you doing?
I'm doing quite well, man. I'm doing quite well. Just enjoying life, enjoying my week filled with running backs.
Mm,
Nothing but running backs.
that's next
I
week.
That's next week for you. I'll tell you, I really enjoyed this run back class. Look at me messing with things.
Look at you.
Look at me.
Oh my
Look at
God.
you. Oh,
I'm
there we
messing with
go.
it now.
There we go. So yeah, no, we're gonna be here talking about a little summer scouting. I finally managed to get to the edge class last couple of days. Only a couple of players, but Alex, you've obviously went through it a little bit deeper than I. But hey,
Doug.
we are here to do that. Oh man, Eric already in the chat. What did the Rock buy now? Nothing. It's
This is why I changed the thumbnail.
no, I love it. I love it. It's pure clickbait for me. But no, we're gonna be doing a couple of mock drafts later on. 2025 mock drafts. No, not really. We're gonna be doing a bald things draft. That's gonna be fun. And a draft when it comes to expansion cities, ideal
Mm,
locations.
mm.
So that's gonna be fun. Well, we'll talk about that when we get to it. But
Plus, we could
Alex, where
always
do
do a
you?
draft if we're bored.
Like I said, I want to keep this under 2 hours.
Keep forgetting about the
But
fact that we like to take our time.
yeah. So let's just go ahead. Let's talk about this edge class because you're not that high on it, though. We were kind of talking before that how you scout for what they are now,
Right.
and I'm a hopeful dreamer when I do my
This is correct.
projections.
hmm
So go ahead and let me know who's your current number one. I'm only 9 guys through. I'm actually
Yep.
pretty happy about that, and I'm a little encouraged with some
Yep.
of the class, but there's a ton of names I still want to get to. But let me know who your numero uno is.
Yeah, so quick overview of like what I'm doing per position. Like I'm doing the top guys who I think are going to be like within the top 3 rounds that we'll be seeing just because when I give commentary on, other people's mock drafts, I want to feel informed about what I'm saying rather than, guys who I've kind of seen via osmosis of watching other players. So I've right now watched 17 technically, but I didn't classify Abdul Carter. I didn't see enough reps to transition him. At the moment, I do see only one guy being an actual starter if he were to go to the NFL today, which is the beauty of being able to do these reevaluations because I love to see the progression over the year. But have you watched Nick Scourton yet?
Yes. Oh my gosh, is he your number one?
He's my number one by a good
Oh
margin.
my gosh,
Yeah.
Alex, my boy.
He's a monster. He is a monster.
All right.
Cardiac
Well,
Cats. I'm watching the tackle class right now. Josh Simmons was my last guy. I'll talk about that in a little bit as well. But Josh,
Alex, let's just go ahead and talk about our number ones currently because I got Scourton as well. Currently, based on the 9 that I've watched.
I mean, that's still a good enough margin. There's not going to be. Luckily, this class has enough guys for enough diversity when you could, have some good change ups in the first rounds for certain mock drafts you look at. But it's not overwhelming to the point where we're seeing a billion dudes. Like you can be well informed on a lot of the stuff you talk about with just 9 guys at the moment.
Oh yeah, totally.
So,
But it's gonna be more.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, by the time, so when I swing back around, I want to have at least 40 officially graded. So yes, yeah, per position. I want to be a minimum of 25 per position.
Dude, man.
Minimum 25.
I hope to be in that 40-50 range at the end of the year per position. Like at the end of the draft cycle.
It's a stretch goal. But I mean, as y'all know, if I scout 40 players, I will do a top 40. God forbid. But the graphics work. I just saw your eyes like, oh fuck. But yeah, no, this is why you have a significant other who likes to do Canva. So far that hasn't come to fruition yet, but I can employ her for that.
Yeah. So what did you like about was it Scourton? Is that how you say it?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, again,
that's what I think.
How many games of Purdue did I watch on a game broadcast? Zilch.
Exactly.
It's all 22 that you dig into.
Yeah.
But I mean,
yeah. Tell me what you like. Tell me why it's because how thick he is.
He is a big dude. He reminds me so much of Marshawn Nealon. By the way, supposed to grab freaking barbecue with him today. This dude breaks his nose. Breaks his nose this week. So he got surgery today. Mm-hmm.
That sucks.
I know. I told him if the surgeon's good, then he needs to let me know because your boy needs to get nasal reconstruction as well. So we could be 20 on that. But we were supposed to grab barbecue today, and it severely crippled my excitement for the day when he texted me like, RIP, I'm having surgery. So that's fun. But not trying to report news or anything. It was just kind of a bummer. But he actually is relatively my call for Nick Scourton. The more I sat down and thought about it, it's just somebody who has that larger frame, was he playing at 270 or 280 last year? Because he's 280 this year. I thought he gained weight.
I don't know if he was like he was noticeably bigger than what a normal edge was. Right. The thing that stuck out was like he felt way smoother. Like he felt like a basketball player and how he was like kind of gliding.
Yeah.
Dude, man.
Suggs.
Dude, they like consistently dropped this guy into coverage too, which I thought was wild.
Yeah. I know he was so versatile. So, I mean, that's what I love so much about him is he felt well-rounded. He had all the tools that you'd want in terms of pass rush ability. His actual timing wasn't actually too shabby either, which I think that's my biggest issue with the entire class is a lot of these guys, when it comes to the finer details, taking the right angles, timing your moves, combining your moves, like combining a bull rush with being able to, have just there's so much more to the game that you need to have to your full skill set to start in the NFL, be a top 64 edge rusher on the planet. And the only guy who I thought did it adequately enough was Scourton, but it's not like he's an amazing athlete. But at the same time, he's 280, so he's a great athlete.
I was going to say, there's always that caveat.
Of course, it's a cost. It's a cost of being 280 pounds or even 270. But, it's he was just perfectly well-rounded to me. I didn't think that – so a lot of times when he was versus the run, I don't know if you saw this as well. I saw this with Kamen Rucker too. It might just be the system. Okay, it might just be the system. They like to bite hard on the running back in option plays. And that comes back to bite them in the ass too many times to count. They don't stay home enough. So I did have that little bit of an issue with Scourton, but overall was very, very, very impressed.
I did put that I thought he lacked the same type of like physicality with his hand in the dirt than he did as a stand-up rusher.
I'm pulling up my notes right now just to actually quote from it.
Yeah. I mean, that because the first game I think I watched was Michigan because I was like, oh, wow, he kind of did well against Michigan. Let's go. Yeah. And it mainly was around the goal line when he was kind of forced and asked to like kick inside, not even inside, but just put your hand in the dirt. Could be playing like right over the tackle or right inside of the tackle. And I just thought he didn't have that what's the word? That stank that like he normally does. Cause like dude can finesse guys. He is sudden and he could be violent.
Yeah.
He can be violent. Does have a false step, but I don't really care about too much about that.
There's certain players that I think abuse false steps way more.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Have you watched Shamar Turner yet? The perfect example of the guy who abuses a false step.
Who?
Shamar Turner, the Texas A&M.
Yeah. Okay. I was like, I don't remember that edge.
I'm like, all right, that's my edge 4.
Straight up. Yeah. He probably will be an edge for me by the end of the year. I think we already had that conversation because I included him with my interiors, but he hardly was. He was always playing at edge.
He was. And the thing is, he played so much like 265. Like, he didn't have the exact every down power of a 290-pound dude. Can you imagine that? 2 edge rushers, Scourton and Shamar Turner, at 280 and 290, and both can move like they're 260, 265. Incredible movement ability for their size. Yeah.
It's going to be nuts.
I mean, last year they also have who's the kid over at Ole Miss now?
Oh, Walter Nolan.
Yeah, Walter Nolan. I mean, he was what was he, 290 as well, and he was playing edge reps too.
Yeah, was he 290?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was probably 290. Now I just have 280 in my head.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at it right now. To be fair, I probably pulled this off of Ole Miss's roster. I've done a lot better job at that this year because I want to see the guys who are increasing weight versus like what PFF, who has certain dudes like 160 pounds who are up to like 185.
Yeah,
like,
I always try to take it off of the
current roster.
I mean, when I go to do the backgrounds anyway,
yeah,
I typically go on their team page, whatever. So
yeah.
So who's your number 2?
It's James Pierce.
Okay, cool. Yeah. I was gonna say, I was like, they were actually pretty close for me. So
I have a 3.25 point differential. Technically, not percent, but 3.25 point. So it's a noticeable margin. But Pierce is just under being a starting edge / linebacker. Basically, you know, I'm essentially just saying this guy should be solely on the boundary of the line of scrimmage, that is. But he's just under
there in the corner.
Yeah, throw him out there. I mean, speaking of a guy who was a corner, you probably haven't watched him yet, David Bailey from Stanford. This dude's playing.
No, he's on my list though.
He plays a joker role a lot. So basically a slot / will linebacker role. And then he'll just play.
I was going to say, you know what's the sucky thing for him though? Still at Stanford.
That too. The dude is so unathletic for being 240 pounds. It's like he has the. If you just removed the size comparison, I think he has very similar movement skills to Scourton, but one is 40 pounds heavier.
Yeah, it's kind of
and one is a bit smoother. So actually, no, I lied. Scourton's a better athlete per my grading. At 40 pounds heavier.
Anywho, James Pierce.
I already have my soliloquy. You go.
I was just gonna say how people, because I wasn't really in. I was less in the Dallas Turner basket last season. I feel like this is how people felt about Dallas Turner, which I mean he ends up being edge 2 off the board. I think that's what I'm feeling here when it comes to Pierce. Like, okay, he's stupid fast. He goes and gets after it. And to be fair, I mean, it's not even like I was low on Dallas Turner. I had him inside that top 15. Okay, yeah. I hated him. Dude sucked.
Well, you know where I had him. You know me.
I know you loved him. I mean,
yeah, he was my number 4 player. I am as a confirmed blue chip on the way to being upwards of. He was right there grading wise with just below where I had Hutchinson. That's how much I loved him.
Wow. Yeah.
And I loved Hutchinson. So it's not shade at him. It's more so just how much I love Dallas Turner.
Yeah. I mean, I think Pierce is going to test out very similar. And I mean, he's young enough. He's going to put on more weight. Like the guy legitimately looks thin.
He is. I mean, he's 242 and he does look 242.
Yeah.
Compared to some of those other guys. I mean, to be fair, Tennessee does have a lot of guys who are not super large. There's not. I mean, you got Tyler Barron, but they put him at nose tackle at 260.
They had Tyler Barron.
Like, what the fuck's that? But yeah, it's Pierce to me. Talk about projection. That's like the prime example of somebody who just has not gotten the timing down. Like this dude will do these beautiful spin moves and he's all show, but not really actual production with the higher level translatable moves of the NFL. And like I posted a rep on my Twitter. He literally spun right into JC Latham's chest. It's like,
okay, I'm not gonna lie. Something I kept noticing was like, man, Latham really punked some of these 2025 guys.
I know. I was like, whoa, because I was literally like, what the hell is going on? Why is Latham looking like a generational player here?
Yeah.
It got to the point where I literally came out and apologized for being low on him when he was my offensive tackle too.
Oh, I mean, I feel like I had him in the right spot. I mean,
I thought he might be a guard transfer.
I never liked that just because I don't like tall guards. Tall guards scare me. They make me think of Andreas Pete.
See, this is what's actually irritating the living hell out of me because I want my my reports to pop up so I can tell you because You're killing me. Because I actually have one guy who's like 6'8", who I think should transfer to guard, and I just said like this, if he's gonna succeed, it would have to be an Andreas Pete role.
Yeah, I'm not saying can't happen, but
right, it's just not. It's not preferable,
especially with the quarterback position getting smaller.
There we go.
Or shorter.
True. Yeah. Well, to be honest, this quarterback class has gotten worse and worse for me the longer I've watched more and more quarterbacks. So RIP to that too.
Well, it's not like those past classes have really produced.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, going back, it's like, wow, I think the 2020 class might have been the best class thus far. I mean,
let's not talk about that. Well, this past draft class might actually be something.
Oh yeah, I'm hopeful. I'm
pretty sure I typed Pete in here. Okay, there we go. It was for Riley Mahlman from he is the Wisconsin. Was he the right tackle? Yeah. 6'8", 313. Like that dude, I literally think he should move to guard. Just not very great movement skills.
Oh, okay, I see him.
So
again, haven't wrote anything down for these guys. These offensive line players.
By the way, because there's certain tackles, because I like to be able to watch how players play against the same guy. Change limit the amount of variables you change, increase the control of the variables. So that's why I watch the majority of these edge rushers versus JC Latham, and if possible versus Will Campbell as well. What I realized is that when you watch Will Campbell versus edge rushers that are not Dallas Turner, I gained a bit more faith. Like that's why I was just like, holy shit, did I underrate Dallas Turner? Because it's just when Dallas Turner turns it on, man, I don't know anybody else who has that type of ankle flexion to where you'll literally see Dallas Turner like this with a full long arm at like 34 and a half inches. And I don't know how many tackles could stop that. So, ended up continuing to rewatch games for Will Campbell, and he did a fantastic job. Still on the fringe, but compared to what I originally thought, significantly better.
Yeah. I will say, like, looking at this class, like, the win rates are really good for some of these guys.
Right.
Like,
we're back to edge rusher.
Yeah. Like, for me, it's really because I can't talk offensive line. Haven't watched it yet.
I was like, win rate for tackles? We're talking about that?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, but no, like the win rate, like in comparison to last year's class, it's not far off, and there's more guys that are like, ooh, okay, maybe let's go.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys who have a lot of room to grow, but haven't shown the inability to grow, which is good because they're just so young and they're just getting some reps in. So it's like when I end up crapping on Mikael Williams, it's because I think he's, there's a part to his game, which is the power aspect that I just don't think is there. Does that mean it can't be? No. But at the same time, there's a difference between you who loves projection and me who loves just saying who they are. And that's why we create a good balance. And that's why it's like, I'll be right about the guys who don't win. And then you'll be right about the guys who do. And I like to be happy about guys who win. So I can't get my hopes up for people succeeding. That's just okay. I don't want to get let down by people. Let's put it that way. So I don't like getting let down.
I'm kind of curious who your 3 was. Because again, I haven't seen your video. I've just been following you on Twitter.
Damn.
With like who you've been watching. Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm just joking.
I don't have a lot of time to myself. Mm-hmm. It's not like I'm watching other football content currently either. So,
yeah.
But my number 3
it's
Princely.
Me too.
Umang Eling.
That's how you say it?
I'm not going to lie to you.
I can just call it Umamilan. But you could be right.
I think it's Umang Elen. I don't know. I had the pronunciation
Princely.
Here.
We'll just call it Princely.
Princely.
We'll call him P.U. Prince U. Yeah, no,
PU. I don't
he's
like
tied.
PU.
PU. He's tied for third with Shamar Turner to me.
Okay. Yeah,
I really like Shamar.
he's not the athlete of the guys ahead of him, but
I have a hot take, but yes,
go
I
on.
agree. Well, I think he's a better athlete than Scourton, just not if you transition the mindset to the frame. Again, I grade all the athleticism on the same scale because I think if someone's thin, they're going to be a good athlete, but they'll lack in other categories that bigger guys don't. My issue with Princely is he's very inconsistent.
Yes. Oh, totally.
Very inconsistent, especially in terms of the effort. Like, there's just reps where I don't see the same guy, and then you'll see the best player arguably in the draft on a couple plays a game, and you're like, should I get excited or should I be worried? Because I've seen what he can be, but I also know that he's not being that. It's a weird spot to be.
Yeah, I don't disagree. Like, there are definitely reps where it's just like, wow, overwhelming, you know?
Right.
Because he can be a technician. He has very heavy hands.
Yeah.
He might have the slowest spin move, but it's one of the most effective spin moves you'll see.
Yep.
But, like, dude, the dude produced, and he produced really well last year.
He did.
You know, he gets to go to Ole Miss and I guess try to chase a natty with Ole Miss. I mean, with the playoff expansion, why not? Why not?
It's possible. Very possible.
It's not out of the realm of possibility.
I'm curious if you saw this as well. I saw him slow down before taking contact a lot of times. So I love those edge rushers that go through and carry their momentum versus like they're going fast and they just slow up to take on contact.
Okay. I think a lot of that is because he tries to be a technician. So he's trying to like set up his next move.
But that's the intricate part of the game with more experience. That's where timing comes in, where you don't have to slow down. You just know.
You just know.
You just
when
know.
You know.
Yep. Because one of my notes was he's flashing combination of moves, but not at the right time.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, one of the things I wish was, I mean, we need to see this more often from high school on. Measure these guys' arm lengths right away. I don't know why. It's not like their arms are going to change. Like, what the hell? And then, well, maybe not significantly. But like, if a dude has 33-inch arms, I doubt that he'd get more than 33 and a quarter with growing a little bit. Maybe 33 and a half. I don't know. But it's like, I'm looking at some of these players where it's like Ernest Green. This dude's getting out-lengthed by Dallas Turner. And I'm just like, well, he obviously doesn't have crazy arm length because he's looking like straight up like he can't even touch him. And then I find out apparently he has 35-inch arms. I'm like, what the hell? Like, this doesn't make any sense. So
yeah, sometimes guys just play with low arms or they like to play closer to their chest.
Can't do that. Can't do that. There's players who are good at range. Got to be able to hit them.
That's true. That's true. But then there's also guys who are like, man, if I get aggressive at the point of attack, I'm going to get thrown on my face. They're just going to go, what the?
Yeah. Yeah, there's certain players.
I think it's a fine.
There's a balance
line. Yeah.
Oh, man. Okay, so you have yet to get to the corners, though, right?
No, yeah. I'm only 2 position groups deep, man.
Damn.
I really got stuck at running back. Like,
so
I watched 33 running backs.
See, that's why
I couldn't.
This class might be different, but that's why I'm doing the top, just so I have a really good taste, and then I get excited when I find my depth guys because I'll have a reference when I'm watching the deeper players rather than feel fatigued at a position. It just helps me out too.
Yeah,
helps me survive.
I'll tell you this: I think this class is the run back class. It's good enough to where like I didn't feel that fatigue when I was watching their film.
Like, fuck for that.
Yeah.
There was a question that popped up earlier, by the way. Once you're done, I want to talk about it. But okay, so it was really that good to where it wasn't fatiguing. It's pretty tough for me because running backs, I like to get hooked to them. Just there's a certain point. Well, safeties especially. It's like when they don't have the opportunity to truly express themselves i.e., you just see him basically run into an offensive line that can't fucking block. It's just, it gets annoying. That's why it's like, damn. But I mean, it's good. It's good for me because I don't want to get bored.
No, I mean, I think this class is way chunkier than it was last year when it comes to run back position. The production's kind of insane. Like a lot of these guys, in terms of their force missed tackle rate, yards after contact, are really good.
Yeah.
Like I have so much more green this year than I did last year on some of these analytics.
Yep.
And even the guys that had down years last year, like their previous season was pretty promising. Like your Donovan Edwards, your Nicholas Singleton. I'll tell you that, man. I went back and I watched his stuff and I was like, man, he somewhat looked like a different player last year. And I don't know if that was just because the offense struggles in general, but
okay. So Cardiac Cats actually asked a really good question. This is the one exception to what I just complained about. Do we think Will Campbell has short arms? He's one of the few guys who has measured arms, apparently. The only guy who I've actually really seen, except Ernest Green, that is at least noted of actual statistically measured arms. And he has 33 flat.
Okay.
How true is that? I don't know. He does struggle versus guys of length.
How athletic is he?
I think Will Campbell's actually pretty athletic.
Okay. I think you could get by with shorter arms and being a stupid good athlete.
Well, he's also very aggressive, which is what I like. If you're passive and have short arms, you're going to get abused. Like, unfortunately, you could put yourself in some very bad positions if you get overzealous and get a little bit too exerted, and that gets you out of position. But Will Campbell, I feel he does a pretty good job taming it down, because I had him from being developmental, like not a tackle 2 on a team, to actually, he's actually officially graded as a starter. That's cool. I didn't even know that. As a tackle and as a guard. I think he might be a little bit better of a guard, though.
So what is let's just move to the tackles, I guess. I mean, unless you still want to talk some edge.
I do want to address one little thing, because people do ask me how I met Marshawn. I just commented during the during the combine that, his random stat was looking pretty damn awesome. And that was, I think, the 3-cone, or was it the shuttle? One of them, it was faster than
one of the agility drills.
Yeah, one of the agility drills, he had faster than Chop Robinson at, 15 pounds heavier than Chop. So I was like, why are we not talking about this? He ended up liking a comment, ended up following him, then just slid into the DMs and just chatted, and then came on the show. Cool guy. Then he got drafted to Dallas. Well, one of the things is I don't really check my Twitter DMs as much as I should. I'm sure that you might, like most people I know, have a tough time discussing stuff in DMs with people.
I hate it.
Yeah, it's just
sometimes.
Well, Twitter is very inconsistent at giving me notifications for my DMs, which is what really is the kick in the nuts, because I see people message me and I don't get to them for a week because I just don't see a notification. But I usually just give my phone number out, and certain guys use it, certain guys don't. He did, so we just kept in contact through text. When he got drafted to the Cowboys, since I'm in Dallas, made a little bit more sense for, I always congratulate the guys I know, and just stayed in touch that way. Cool dude, though.
Sounds it. I loved him too.
Yeah. Okay.
Never slid in my DMs.
Well, he didn't slide in my DMs. I slid into his DMs, and he ended up being responsive, which, if you guys have ever tried to slide into a player's DMs, it is very difficult to make them to have a response. So,
can you imagine what their DMs look like?
Precisely. So, us complaining, it's like, I can imagine how they are. So that's basically how. I mean, there's actually an interview I need to put up with Mekhi Muse. He actually transferred to Houston, but he was Georgia's receiver. But that's going to be something I probably transition into a YouTube short. But that's just a dude where I end up. It's just basically shouting guys out on Twitter that I end up liking, because I just don't care. I mean, if people look at that as clout chasing, you do your thing. I don't give a shit about clout. It's like I just prefer to be like, hey, I like this player because it's my job to tell people who I like. So
it is my divine right and responsibility.
Exactly. So there you go. There's the secret to sliding into people's DMs successfully. If they like your tweet, there's a much higher chance that they'll end up responding to you. So
usually, we'll see. We'll see. Like my tweets.
Okay.
It's relatively low. I was gonna say before we get out of this edge class, I want to hear out some of the other guys that maybe we both may have watched. Okay, my number 4 was Jack Sawyer.
He's my lowest graded edge rusher.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like he is probably one of the safer options in this class. I felt like he would have been right up your alley because I almost feel like no projection is required for him. He is what he is.
I will say this as a positive note. He was better than my grade last time. Because he was still my lowest graded edge rusher last time. I think he's very unrefined. He's a good run defender. So you can get somebody who can play the early downs. But I think he's pretty poor as a pass rusher overall. I think he's very average for a college prospect. Not very many moves there. Timing's off. Angles are off. And his overall processing of the game is just, I'm not a fan of it. But, I've just been very low on him since the beginning. But I'm hoping to be proven wrong. A lot of people love him. That's one of the guys who I'm just lower on than everybody else. So my take is going to be significantly lower than the average.
Okay. Yeah, I just think with him, the only real gripe I really had with his game was I don't think he's got long arms.
He uses his shoulder a lot.
Yeah, and I feel like he's constantly having to reach at the point of attack because there were a few times where he would go to reach and the guys would just kind of throw him down on his face.
Yeah.
And not saying that happens all the time, but I was like, okay, when you're reaching at the point of attack, it's probably because you got to.
Yeah. So I did pull up my notes on him. So for my negatives, he uses his shoulder to initiate contact way too often, not his actual arms. Not a great sign when the NFL,
maybe he is using his arms. They're just.
I did have poor length usage in here.
This is my strong hand.
Yeah. He does kind of have T-Rex arms. But he's not very bendy. Another guy who slows down and braces for contact.
He is not bendy whatsoever.
Like you can't do that. You got to be able to you can't brace for contact because the offense works way too fast. If you're slowing down, they're getting past you. Doesn't have any bend.
Sam Hubbard 2.0. That's actually a good shout out.
That's
in the comment. That's not a
pretty big stretch in my mind. But if he's your number 4 edge rusher, I can see it. I was like, I think Sam Hubbard was pretty awesome.
I thought he was kind of just a tick above mid. I was never.
I didn't grade him back then, so to be fair,
I'm talking about what he is now in the NFL.
Okay, yeah,
just a tick above mid.
Mid. I think
that's the floor for Sawyer. I think you're stout, you're physical, you got a decent first step. I'm in.
I say a lot of positive athletic flashes. So yeah, first step.
I mean, I hope so. He was playing off-ball linebacker back in 2022 at some points.
Yeah. But my biggest negative for him is the fact that he is on the ground a lot. He has some big balance concerns for me.
Okay. I think it's because of the arms.
Well, I mean, it was also him just falling, but yes, I mean, it could be the fact that his direct arms just kind of got.
He didn't have his arms to catch him.
Yeah.
So who's your number 4 then?
It was Shamar Turner, but
okay, we could skip to 5 then.
Yeah, that's Kamen Rucker. So
okay, I haven't checked him out. Tell me about him. I'm excited.
So he's somebody
really good. He had a really good win rate last year.
He is a very, very solid pass rusher. One of the issues I had with him is I gave him my very coveted kamikaze note. It's a very big negative for me he goes pretty much, he sees red, he goes blind, and he just doesn't know. Like, he just dives down the line of scrimmage. He doesn't stay home. What I was talking about earlier. Basically, he doesn't give a crap if the guy has the ball. He locks in on target and just goes at him. But I love the fact he's very physical. I give him the Punisher grade as well. He does have those moments where he can go from a bull rush to a rip, which is a beautiful combination because you get them on their heels and then they can't actually, be able to respond to your athletic moves. So I do love that about him. And, he has the hand fighting and the bend necessary, but a little bit of inconsistency there. I mean, I still think that he is a very solid pass rusher. It's just very well balanced, if I'm going to be completely honest. He's graded very similarly to James Pierce in the majority of categories. Looking at where he might have scored a little bit worse, nowhere. He's just really solid. I don't know if he's going to be a guy who I'd trust to be a day one edge rusher for me, but he's right there. I think he'd easily be in a rotation if he ended up going to the NFL this year. But, overall, I think that, he's shown a ton of potential, maybe needs to get a little bit more consistent. And, I'm all here for it. He's a good player. Really good player.
Okay. Yeah. He will be one of the guys I want to, or am going to watch before I kind of tie a bow on this class and jump to, I'll probably do offensive line since you're already there. I'll probably be my next.
Yeah. Because then we could talk about O-line and we could talk about running back next week too.
Oh, yeah. There we go, dude. Yep. I like that.
And then we'll have no we'll have like zero that we could talk about that's brand new, that's in common for the next week. Because I'll probably be going to the interior of the offensive line after that.
Okay. So on a side note, my number 5 is, it's not Gillette, apparently.
Ashton.
Yeah.
We'll just go by first names. They're much easier to pronounce. We're not the best at pronouncing these. We'll drag Bengal into one of these streams so he can pronounce it. Apparently, he's the goat at pronunciations.
Is he? Good for him, dude.
Is that what he's known for? I saw one comment one time about it, and I was like, okay, I'm just going to believe that one comment from somebody. I'm not going to challenge it. I'm not going to challenge it, dude.
Yeah, but now I'm getting to this tier of guys that I think have traits, but they're maybe unpolished or they're missing one thing, but they're really traitsy. And I think Ashton, I think he's got a good combination of speed and power. I think he's actually one of the better hand fighters. It's not always like discipline, but like they're active. Like his hands are active as hell. And the dude was uber productive last year. And like straight up, I think it can get better. Like I think sometimes he gets so caught up in the hand fighting aspect of things. Like, and I think it's more apparent in the run game because he doesn't have a strength issue. But like sometimes I thought he struggled to like set the edge or he struggled to stay in his assignment. And I think he's just working himself away from his assignment, you know?
Are you saying like he's not driving towards where he should?
Yeah. Or if like, hey, you need to stay put here. He gets so caught up in trying to win the rep that he gets essentially guided or just kind of like washed out. And again, this is all in the run game. So he ends up getting led where he's not supposed to because he's trying to win the rep there.
Yeah, I'm just reading my report on him because I also had him rated. I actually wasn't very much in love with this class at all in terms of run defense at all. Like most of the guys did not score well in the run defense category for me. So, I don't really have very much to positive say.
Buddy, I mean, these are the guys right now. These are the guys I'm going to be talking about that have struggles in the run defense.
Well, believe me, it's not going to get very much better with some of the other guys that you haven't watched. But, he's my 12th edge rusher. I do like him a lot. I see a lot of potential with him. But talk about someone who has zero bend. Like this guy is straight up and down. He has crazy push on the pocket. So strength is his primary asset. By far, in my opinion, the best in the class by probably an order of magnitude. Like I love it.
That's a sentence.
Yeah, he's very powerful. I saw him drive back a guard into a quarterback. Like I think he should be an edge, but he could easily be a defensive line, just someone who could be super flexible.
I kind of listened and was like, hey, this is a guy I kind of want to sit over the tackle or even sometimes like 4-eye.
Right. I could see him being a 4-eye. So, I mean, I think that my issue with him, I guess we disagree on this one. I think he's a really poor athlete. I saw him get off the ball pretty slow. Sometimes it's not even the fact that he has a poor first step. I thought that he just wouldn't react to the snap early enough. And when you combine that with having a pretty poor bend, it just doesn't really work very well at making a big impact. That's why I thought he got a lot of pressures versus like actual impact in terms of NFL pressure. I don't see it just yet. But I do think if you get him to take the right angles in pass rush, actually, I know you're talking about this in the run. I thought that he was taking pretty poor angles. And he would basically be driving north-south when I think he could have done a great job pushing the tackle in, a little bit maybe northwest. Like, I think he could push him a little bit more towards the quarterback. And there's a weird system there at Louisville. I think he could certainly be someone who improves drastically, not statistically, but when you see him on the field. But somebody who I think overall, he's someone who I really do. I like his game. It's just somebody who statistically is not going to be performing too well for me because he's not an eye-popping athlete.
Okay. So who's your number 6 then? Because Rucker was your number
5. Yeah. JT Tuimoloau, surprisingly.
Hey!
Yeah. All right, do you have him at 6 too? I feel like that's a range.
I have him at 7, but
it's close. So, me, the JT Tuimoloau hater from last year. I mean, he's somebody who's gotten better every single year. That's something I really do like about him. He's progressed every year. Just hasn't fully gotten there. Another guy who takes pretty poor angles, and I think that's what, when you see him actually click, like when you see the little finer details click, that's when he becomes the most effective. But we were talking about this last year coming into this past season. Like, he is kind of a one-trick pony in terms of the spin move. He just loves that spin move and drives me crazy.
Good spin move.
It's a good spin move, but it's just like, it's not like he was David Ojabo with the spin move. It's not that effective. You just have to get the right tackle, and then it will be. And you don't have that many tackles in the NFL that would be the right tackle compared to college. So I did think that he got moved a little bit too much in the run game. I wanted to be a lot more assertive, and he actually graded out as one of my more mid to lower end run defenders, especially for the size. I was very let down by that. But he's a solid athlete, nothing that's eye-popping to me. Ben still needs to really get there. But, adequate in pretty much every category except for run defense, because I think he just needs to be a bit more assertive.
Okay. I'm basically along the same lines with Tuimoloau. I think for his size, he's a pretty darn good athlete. I think he's got decent burst.
Yep.
I think there's some strength there. Obviously, I think he plays relatively low.
Mm-hmm.
Gets good leverage, but again, he's just kind of a mixed bag in terms of consistency.
Yep.
Just even as a block shedder, just doesn't consistently get off. Like, there's just too many peaks and valleys when it comes to his plays.
Right. So, a little too inconsistent, I would say.
Yes.
So
yes. So my number 7 ends up being Mykel Williams.
Your number 7 or 6?
My number 6.
Yeah,
I messed up. My number 6. Because again, this is the portion where it's like, okay, I think these guys have tools and whatnot, and Williams has the tools, dude.
He does.
Length. I think he's got some good speed. Like, his length, he is long.
Yeah.
Oh, golly gee. It's just like he was used all over the line, and I didn't love that.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of wonky. I don't know if they had injuries last year. I know they had injuries in the linebacker core, but like, I don't know. It was kind of a mixed bag. I think he doesn't have many like pass rush moves in his toolbox per se. Okay. Like, I guess like when it comes to like counters and whatnot, secondary moves. Cause like I felt like his pass rushes fizzled out a lot after his initial push. And there would be times where like, I don't want to say like bull in a china shop, but like he would just consistently get ridden past the quarterback.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, maybe that, but like at his size, what is he like 6'5", 265? He's got NFL size. That's a great build. I actually think he does have a good power element to his game. It just gets exposed a little bit when he kicks inside.
And
they just didn't use him enough to be that penetrator when they did kick him inside. So then he would just get ran over, especially by double teams.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, if you take all prior knowledge of what Mykel Williams is out of the table, like just out of your mind, you will think that he's 240 pounds. He moves like he's 240. He plays with the strength of a 240 pounder. I have it in my notes that says, I've never seen someone with so much potential get absolutely stonewalled so often. There were a lot of reps where he would just give up because he was not going to win. And that's not because he has a poor motor. I ended up saying like he has a crazy motor. Like he does. It's just, I think he's very self-aware of the fact that he just was outmatched. And that's because he's so young. I mean, he ended up popping off to me in the All-American Bowl. That's why I've known about him for a hot minute now. But he has great length. He has no push on the pocket for a 265 pounder. There was one rep that I saw of his that I saw some potential there. So it's there. I don't know how like great it is because it's not there very often, but it's there. I think his feet need to be a little bit more active. I did see them kind of be a little bit more on the slow side. I like some of these edge rushers especially when they get stopped, end up driving your feet a little bit quicker because it's going to be a little bit.
I think regardless of position, guys that drive their feet through contact, I think translates no matter what.
Yep. So for me, on reactionary positions like tackles, corners, etc., like the thing for me is patience. On more proactive positions like running back, like edge rushers, for example, the momentum carry through contact. Like that's why, to me, it's such a big deal with guys like Jack Sawyer who slow up before contact. I'm like, drive through. Just imagine a running back who slows up before taking contact. You want him to run through that guy, not brace for a contact and then try to just bounce off. So that's my thought process. So if you see an edge rusher who can like not slow down and drive through contact, you bet your ass I'm going to love him. That's why Ashton is someone who I don't grade very highly, but still have a lot of respect for.
Okay. So I only got two other guys that I've watched thus far. One being Williams' teammate, Jalen Walker, who
I didn't watch.
Yeah. I mean, I watched them together because, I was like, oh, this guy's pass rush win rate's really good. Why is this guy moving all over the place? Like legitimately at some points he was playing like in the middle of the defense off-ball linebacker. Like, I don't know what he's going to be. I don't know what his projection will be to the NFL. Kind of depends on what route he goes. I honestly kind of liked him a little bit better as a pass rusher than Williams, just because he has that he's 6'2", so he's got like that natural low center of gravity, and he comes in hot. He's got a quick first step, and he's actually got long arms. So like he's able to push like bigger guys. There was a rep where he actually was pushing poor JC Latham, but just couldn't finish it because all that momentum just petered out. But
you just got to carry it through the guy, and that's where timing is so key. Like,
and you know what? If he's a linebacker and he's coming downhill, though, like I don't know. I'm kind of intrigued because they did use him quite a little bit in coverage. Again, like this cat. He didn't even eclipse like 250 touches last year. Like I was like, oh my gosh, what was he just like? Because just looking at his analytics, was he just like a package blitz option? Like, what were they doing? It was like, oh, he was only on the field because some of the other guys got hurt, so he's like kind of this chess piece, which pretty interesting. That I mean, he was a guy that was doing a lot of things very well and very capable. It's just, I don't know, man. It's gonna be. I'd like to know specifically what he's going to be in the NFL. And at 6'2", 245, that might end up being linebacker, honestly. So
it's an interesting proposition. At 6'2", that's where I start feeling comfortable with guys being in that 245 range because they're a little bit more condensed.
Yeah. And I mean, he's got the length too, which helps.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I haven't watched him personally. I mean, obviously there's plenty of reps where, he's on the same field, but you and I scout differently too in that category. I'm very tunnel visioned. When I watch players, I just don't see other players. It's just, I just zone in.
Oh yeah. I mean, I will specifically watch one player if they're the only player on the team.
Yeah. Like I can't do that. My like OCD or my ADD I have to focus on a player or else I'm not going to fully remember what I'm watching.
Okay.
So
yeah, it was wild. The Alabama game, he was used in all sorts of manners. Like he was dropping into coverage off like on wheel routes against Bama. He was shooting gaps, coming downhill as a linebacker. There were times where he was just asked to spy Milroe, and he did a really good job at that. So he's got some speed to him, like sideline to sideline speed. So like honestly, the proposition of him being a linebacker might make a little bit more sense. Yeah, honestly, really.
Yeah. Okay.
And real quick, the final guy, because I know you watched this guy, Tyler Barron. And I just watched him because I had the other Tennessee cat. Now he's a DU, baby, DU. This guy's got no quicks to his game. He's all power, but I think he's made for the NFL. I think like he's a 3-down player that can set the edge, play strong. You're not gonna have to worry about him play strength wise. It's just there's no real quicks or explosiveness to his game.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
Interesting.
Unless he wasn't timing and I don't think it was an anticipation thing with him. I just honestly think that he's just not on that level in terms of athleticism compared to the other guys that I've watched.
See, I will push back on that. I don't have him like in the top tier.
Yeah, I mean, I got a 4th round grade on him right now, which is basically fringe 3rd. But I was like, okay, let's wait and see who else is in this class, and then maybe I'll bump him up.
See, right now, that's what I'm debating. Like right now, how I change I don't actually change my grading scale every year. I change the way I interpret my grading scale. Sometimes I change my grading scale. You know that. But sometimes I change the way I interpret it. So like right now, I'm looking at my grades as in terms of the role that they'd play. Like I don't really care about what round I'll take them in. If, there's a billion dudes who I consider starters, there's going to be less value to that. But essentially, I still think that in the 1st round, I got to get someone who's a starter. In the 2nd to 3rd, I got to get someone who's proven, who could at least be a fringe guy for me. And then like a late 3rd and then day 3, that's where I want the developmental guys. So if that is true, I have in early 4th to late 3rd grade on Tyler Barron as well. Because he's right under. He's 69.75. So I agree. But I actually thought he was a good athlete. I thought he was.
I mean, I'm not saying he's bad. I'm just saying in comparison to the rest of the class. Like I thought he was good when he was they were asking him to loop and stuff, but he was on the field he was a part of the package with James Pierce.
Yeah.
So
that's kind of tough.
That's kind of rough.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a discrepancy right there for sure. I'm trying to go to see what my notes are. So one thing I didn't like about him, dude, actually, this is something because I actually saw this a couple edge rushers worth. Number 81, the tight end for Bama, really good blocker. Like someone who genuinely took some of these edge rushers to town. But I hate the fact that Tennessee kicks this guy to the inside because he just should not be there at 260 pounds. But I saw a lot of bend for his size, and he actually had some reps where I saw some really good leverage as well. When I'm talking about those angles, I did see that with him. Now, was it consistent? No, but it's there. I did see some things that I did like a quick swim move to be able to, stop the run. And, I do think sometimes he is a little bit late to identify what the actual play is. He has good arm length that he can at least use, which is a plus. And he can actually look past the blocker when engaging with them. Not always, but sometimes. But then actually a couple of my notes in here have actually been more about the tight end, saying that this guy's actually a really good blocker than anything.
Man, you know who was one guy? Because I don't know why. I kept watching I kept coming back to Clemson games. And I think we were talking about this last week when it came to the interior. And the right tackle for Clemson was like
Blake Miller. Yeah.
Was that the right tackle?
Mm-hmm.
I think I got a different name.
Oh, well, that's the right tackle.
Oh, maybe it's the left tackle.
See, I watched Blake Miller. Ton of potential.
It's Tristan Lay.
I think that he was the left tackle. Lee. Let me see.
Might have been.
I'll look it up for you.
I think he was number 71, but like he kept popping off like, oh man, look at him come in and deliver a block, or how he was moving as a puller and stuff. I was like, I'm gonna have to write this guy down. Okay, he was left.
Yeah.
Okay.
He had some struggle bus games, but he also had some really good ones too.
Yeah, I went back when I saw his analytics. I was like, man,
24 well,
past year. When I go back and actually like watch him, particularly, I'm gonna be intrigued. But he popped off a little bit for me every time.
He's top edge rusher, because I saw quite a few of these tackles have some pretty high pressure rates versus Kentucky, but where we watch all 22 is not many games where they have versus Kentucky, especially for some of these guys. But who was an edge rusher in Kentucky? Because genuinely speaking,
JJ Weaver, but he's more of like a jack linebacker.
Yeah. JJ Weaver. I remember I think he lurked somebody in like the red zone a couple of years ago, and that was the first time I ever saw him. I'm like, who the hell is this guy?
And people have been talking about him since. Not that he's done much since, but
they just been talking. Not talking good or bad, just talking. But yeah, Lee versus Kentucky, 7 pressures allowed. The final game of the year, bowl game.
True.
And it's just like, I've seen that for quite a lot of guys. Actually, I need to watch this guy before I do my tackle video. Armand Membu. Talk about Jack Sawyer. He actually had 7 pressures versus Membu. But that's the Missouri right tackle who I want to watch. I really wish that Mock Draft Database had a better consensus board, because that just helps out too much.
Oh, absolutely.
And for you guys who are commenting, I'm actually starring a lot of the comments that we're going to be talking to. So feel free to continue commenting. We will be getting to these as well. But yeah, we are finishing off the edge rushing class. So who is you watched Tyler Barron last? So guys who I think that you will like. Okay, so if you like Mikael Williams, I think Patrick Payton's possibly a better version of him. Just lighter. Okay. Now he's 255, but they have the same play style. More explosion, flashy, projectable.
Because I will say, like, before I go into it, I rank these guys based on their like win rates and stuff, and his wasn't one that popped off.
Right. And you'll see this is another guy who's a master of the bullshit fake step. Like, he's a false step dog. He, Shamar Turner should be best friends. But, that's someone who I could totally see you liking. David Bailey is somebody who he's going to be super interesting, because there's going to be a lot of reps where he's randomly playing in the slot, but then he'll play just a pure edge rusher. You're like, what the hell? But underwhelming in terms of his overall athleticism, but I really did like how well he processed the game. He does not get faked out very often. I think he did one time when I was watching him, and it ended up being a touchdown, so RIP to that. But, overall, someone who really does have a good head on his shoulders. Stanford usually tends to target guys like that. Then Danny Dennis Sutton, really intriguing player, really intriguing. I thought he was one of those guys that I was very surprised about how inefficient he was, or how inconsistent he was. I got excited on his good reps, but they were few and far between. And I think that could easily change when he's actually on the field more often. But I watched specifically the games where he had 50 plus reps, so he would have more time. And I thought it was a little bit underwhelming. I thought he was 240 pounds. I was about to say he's a worse version of Adiza Isaac. And then I found out he's 270. So a good athlete for 270, just not anything Well, actually, to be fair, I graded him actually pretty well there. But he has the same very big processor. Him and David Bailey, both guys who are very smart and both solid athletes. Just one's 270, one's 240. So there's the big difference right there. We have some good questions though. I know Kyle asked about our favorite pizza chain, but I want to save that for when we're doing the like mock drafts for shit that's not normal. But we have some other ones that I've starred here. Since we're on the topic of defenders, and I might as well just pop in right now since I'm on my monologue mode. So my boy Devin Witherspoon here, much love, brother. He says, remember on a draft stream you said Tarian is better than Will. We know the answer now because I have Will Johnson graded above Tarian. But is it Tarian or Ben Johnson? And I have Tarian in a league above Ben Johnson, but I still have, or not Ben Johnson, Ben Morrison. Yeah. But Ben Morrison to me is still a blue chip corner. I think he could be a corner one on a team right now. It's just, I thought Tarian was, I think 3.25 points below where I have Will Johnson. And I have Will Johnson as a generational player. So Tarian is within a degree of magnitude of being a generational player, in my opinion. And those are guys who I'll see once every 5 to 10 years, like, a generation, a full, contract of a first round player. So Will Johnson's special. Tarian, I thought was special. And then Ben Morrison is really damn good. I think he'd compete with most of the guys who I really liked in last year's class. He'd be on the same tier as Quinion Mitchell to me.
Okay, cool.
I'm going to be curious when you dive into corners. You know how passionate I am about corners.
I'm excited about corners. I typically save corners for last because it's like dessert for me. Corners and wide receivers I like to save till last. Not all of us are perfect, man. I can't help it.
Oh, I'm getting flamed by Tat McMillan. I just can't wait till the regular season when people are going to start talking about him the same way they talked about Keon Coleman. But I think Keon Coleman was far more diverse of a weapon than what people gave him credit for. I think Tat McMillan is what people at the end were saying Keon Coleman was.
Yeah, man. Now I'm really curious about this wide receiver class.
Very big letdown.
I mean, it sucks that it has to follow, this past class, but
I think it's a good thing though, because at least the teams that need wide receiver probably got one. I'm trying to be positive.
Dolphins drafted 2 slots.
Yeah, there's not very many good ones in this class. To be fair, Andrew Armstrong, good speed, 6'4", 200. Let's see. I think he could work on the Dolphins.
Yeah, who's wide receiver 1? I have no idea.
Wide receiver 1? Oh.
I was just reading the last comment. Yeah. I haven't got to the class yet.
Deion Burks, baby.
I was going to guess Luther Burden, but I don't know.
If he ends up actually playing 100% every rep, probably could be there. He just doesn't. I hate to say it. He has a pretty mediocre motor. But anyways, I think we had a couple more questions.
Yeah. Let's go through some of the star comments and then we'll get to our mock draft.
You could. Oh, okay. We're actually talking about edge rushers right now. This is a defensive line guy. One of your top dogs in the class one of your dogs in the class is David Vans, his Fifth Down Sports. David Vans, a fun one. He is Christian Haynes. It was his kryptonite. I think Christian Haynes only allowed like a handful of pressures, and I think half of them were to David Van. So that's interesting. I'm going to look this up right now.
His brother plays for North Carolina State too?
Which, David Van or Christian Haynes?
Van.
Well, that's cool. What position?
Right. I didn't see the position. I assume it's along the trenches if he's anything like his brother.
Fair. Okay. James Madison ended up tearing him apart, but Christian Haynes actually had significantly more pressures allowed this year. He had 3 all of last year and then 12 this year. 5 of those being against James Madison. So RIP to that. But apparently, I think it was 4 out of 5 from the start of 2022 season up to the first game of last year's season, it was David Van. So 80% in, what was that, like a 13 game span? So pretty awesome. Pretty awesome by him. He's just very, I would say very inefficient overall. I think he needs to work a little bit on that. He takes advantage of guys with really poor anchors. It's good.
Like Christian Haynes.
Yeah, Christian Haynes is beast. He just ended up falling for me because his anchor was Garbo. Needs to work on that, but he's going to be a baller on the Seahawks. I already know it. Okay, so we can finally unstar that. Ended up talking about Terrian and Will. There we go. If the Bengals trade T. Higgins, will it be midseason or will it be something else?
Well, you could franchise a player 2 years in a row, right?
Does it get more? It gets way more.
It gets more expensive, but I mean, they could still franchise them and then trade them during the off season.
He didn't sign it though, so I don't think so.
Yeah, but I mean, they all eventually sign unless you're Le'Veon Bell, and we saw what happened to his career after that.
It is a running back though.
It is a running back. It is a different story.
Yeah. I think they should do it by midseason because then you don't have to deal with more drama, more BS, and then maybe you can end up getting a player at a key position. Maybe you get an injury, and then you can flip T for somebody of that caliber. But, you know, if they do, feels like that would be what they do. So essentially fill a gap with a really good player and good value.
Yeah, I mean, if they do wait till midseason, well, they have to. If they hold on past that, either he's re-signing, or I imagine they're going to tag him again and then try to trade him.
Which at that point, then
no way you just let him go to free agency for free.
Yeah, I mean, they could get like a good comp pick if they're not getting offers. They could end up getting a comp pick for that. Like a good one too, because he's gonna.
Yeah, but I mean, you want to. I'm sure they could get something good. Shoot, the Cowboys settled for a 5th rounder for Cooper, so if they have to settle, they'll settle.
Let's not use that as an example, though. That was an all-time fleece right there. I don't know what the hell happened.
the Cowboys had no cap space. Is what happened. They were in cap space hell.
Man, I mean, that's why you don't pay mid players top dollar.
Oh, Cooper's pretty solid though.
No, I'm saying like in general. I'm not saying Cooper.
Oh, I was like,
saying other players.
That's a little harsh.
No, I like Amari Cooper. I thought they should have kept him. That's why I said it was a fleece. But yeah, I think that, you know, Dallas is monetarily, surprisingly, because Jerry loves his money, they've not been the best monetarily overall.
Yeah. So you want to do this pizza chain question?
Let's do it. You go first, though. I've always been going first.
Yeah. Because you're gonna be exotic.
Oh yeah.
Dude, man, I used to love Pizza Hut back in the day. And then it just got bad, dude. Pizza Hut's terrible now. I don't even go near it. Like Domino's is fine, Papa John's is fine.
Yeah,
I have a hard time really finding a good pizza joint. Like, because for me, I don't know about you, but like, the crust is everything.
The sauce and the crust, really.
Yeah. If you don't have good crust, I don't want to eat your cardboard pizza. So, I
think the sauce is the key ingredient, though. You can have the best ingredients with a shitty sauce. I mean, go to the grocery store, you get those frozen pizzas. What you knows about is not the crust; it's going to be the sauce tastes garbo.
Yeah.
But
yeah, there's one place out here that's pretty good called Magpies. Is that it? And it was pretty solid. I was pleasantly surprised.
Okay. I actually got pizza for the first time in a couple months last night with my mom. And there's a place that's pretty local to me called Zoli's, but they're not a pizza chain. I don't think they are. They're actually Star Wars themed. I don't know what the hell that's about. Yeah, they dead ass like have all types of Star Wars memorabilia. I'm like, I don't know if that's legal, but you know, I don't care. But they make everything in house. Like the key for me is I'm a sucker for meatballs on pizza. Like if a place makes meatballs in house, I'm ordering that on their pizza. Like that's more artisanal, more just, you know, you have to have a craft when you have to
never
do it
had meatballs on pizza.
Not many places do it well. Dallas, luckily, is a mecca of food, probably except for Persian and Indian, which are two of my favorites. So RIP to that.
Oh man, but we actually got Persian and Indian out here. That's pretty good.
You do?
Yeah.
Did I freeze or did you freeze? I froze probably.
Oh, you didn't freeze for me.
Oh, that's good. I froze for myself. So I was like, oh. So wait, you said that you guys have Persian and Indian out there?
Yeah, there's this place called the Persian Room that's really good. It's like right around the corner from my place.
Okay.
Like, oh my gosh, just everything comes out quick, it comes out hot, and it comes out delicious. There is an Indian place. It's a little ways away, but it's Indian food's not my cup of tea. But it was pretty good.
LA has elite Indian food. So it's like everybody says like when you go to LA, you got to try Indian food. So when you go to LA, Indian's pretty bomb there.
Yeah.
But yeah, for Dallas, there's so many. What?
I was gonna say, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I typically hate frozen pizzas.
Okay.
I gotta figure out what the brand was my wife got, but it was a jalapeno bacon with like a garlic sauce.
Ooh.
And I was like, and my wife, man, I was like, oh my gosh, did you make this? And she's like, no, it's frozen. I was like, you're joking. This is the best frozen pizza I've ever had.
Okay. Yeah. Dude, maybe when you let Gojo in, you could ask. Yeah, right. Because your boy is asking. I'm a sucker for pizza. But yeah, Dallas is a holy mecca for like smaller chains. Like my favorite small chain is a place that I worked for a year called Pizzeria Testa. It's a super small joint that they have a couple locations in the Dallas area. And like they import all their flour from Italy and all that shit. Like you make the dough fresh there. Place is awesome, especially if you're gluten-free, by the way. So if you're in Dallas and you're gluten-free, great spot. I'm not, but actually we used to order our pizzas with gluten-free dough because that was the inside scoop, is that it's even better. But overall national chain, shoot. I mean, you can't go wrong with Domino's because of that like garlic that they put on the crust.
Yeah.
It's classic.
Like, and they got the little garlic dip too.
Yeah, like that's the classic. But I just don't really go to chains. There's a place that has massively expanded. I don't know if they're outside the Dallas area, but I used to live next to the original called Zalot. I used to like them, but it's a place that's like always open till like 3 or 4 a.m. So it's designed when you're high or drunk as hell, which for legal reasons I'm not. Well, I mean, my drug test came back negative, and you know they do a hair drug test at my place.
You have nothing to prove here, bud.
Well, no, my work has a hair drug test. You know that they had to shave parts of my beloved body in order to test. Yeah, it's because I work in a chemical firm, so they can't differentiate, they can't discriminate between people who work corporate and people who work on the site. So they have to use the same quality of test for somebody who works corporate as someone who's around extremely dangerous chemicals. So they have to go back like 5 years, and hair test is the best way to be able to see all the bad stuff. So I got hired, and I don't really do shit, but it's a place where if you're sloshed, you just want to order a pizza, it's like 2 a.m. It's like the nastiest stuff, but yeah, I gotta go Domino's. That's a long-winded way of saying Domino's.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was pretty long-winded. I'm not gonna lie. If you're like Little Caesars, not good, but for its like, if you just want cheap pizza, it is probably the king of cheap pizza.
Yeah,
like it's not terrible. Like I've had some terrible pizzas that cost a hell a lot more.
This is true,
and like. At least Little Caesars got a consistency to it. Like it's consistently mid.
See, we should do a pizza ranking next, like a chain ranking.
Yeah, we'll do that next week.
We need to do food mock drafts because that's something that I think, for the record, I've actually thought about doing this. Yeah,
I'm very passionate about food. You're a hungry boy.
Yep. Jesus. But I've actually thought about starting a sideshow just for the fun of it. Of just doing stuff like that, just food reviews, and it works well with Olipop being a sponsor. I could just easily be transferable over to that.
So, what do you want to do first? Do you want to draft expansion locations or bald things?
Let's go expansion. We haven't gotten too far off the rails yet.
Oh, okay. All right, Alex. So today,
hold up, though. Hold up. This can continue this flow.
I was gonna say we should save that for an actual one.
Okay.
I'm gonna type it down right now.
Yeah, type it down. For the record, I do think Olipop might be my best soda, and the best one of it is orange cream, which they haven't made in a couple years.
I ain't gonna lie, orange cream anything is amazing.
Gas. They haven't made it in like 1 or 2 years. I still have some. I keep saving it. On special occasions, I'll bring one out, and it's the best.
It's wild.
It's insane. I know. I keep it stored. Diet Coke. I gotta admit, I'm a Coke Zero or Diet Dr. Pepper guy, but that's for next week. We're gonna do a lot of food stuff next week.
Yeah. All right. Well, anywho, Alex, today we're gonna be doing a mock draft, but not any other mock draft. We're gonna be drafting locations for the next expansion franchise. What are the best locations, best cities for the next NFL team to be in? So we're going to make 6 selections here like we did last week. It's going to be in a snake order. So if I get 1, I go 1, you go 2, 3, I go 4, 5.
Yep.
So let me ask, do you want 1 or do you want 2?
I think I'm going to go 2. I need a little bit of time to think.
All right. Because that's great. I got an obvious number 1, so I might as well just start us off here as I'm going to go with Santiago. We're going back. We're returning.
San Diego.
Yeah, San Diego was a great football city. Unfortunately, the fans didn't turn out too much for those games. Yeah. But I would love to see a team back in Santiago. As if you don't know, I learned what Santiago actually means. If you've watched Anchorman, you would know as well.
What does it mean?
Go watch Anchorman. But San Diego is going to be my first pick.
Damn. Okay. I mean, you got me all excited for no reason. So just to clarify,
just Google it.
I might do that after my selections, but these are cities that don't have a team right now.
That currently don't have a team. They can't
so you can't add a second team.
That's right. That's why I went with San Diego.
Because I would have gone with Dallas right away. Because I think we can definitely handle it.
I get it. You're a mark for Dallas.
I am a mark for Dallas. Let's see. I mean, for me, I think an easy one is St. Louis. I hate to be
it. On the board.
Yeah,
on the board.
Going back to where it used to be. Again, kind of boring, but that's a city that has a lot of passion for their teams. So I really do appreciate that type of energy that they do have. Another spot that, I'm trying to think of some really good locations of good cities that have, really passionate people. There's not many that don't have a football team yet, in my opinion, but I feel like, man, the energy, and I think that the city isn't really built for this, but I really want a Bama team. I really do. So I'm not going to say Tuscaloosa because that's University of Alabama's. But deep down, I don't give a crap about University of South Alabama. The NFL is so used to going to Mobile, Alabama. I really want a team there.
Oh, I like that answer, Alex. That's good.
It's a city that likes football.
You were going to say like Montgomery or something. I'm like, ugh.
Hell no. I don't know anything about Montgomery.
I drove through it once.
Yeah, I really do love Mobile, Alabama. Great experience there. It's a city that's built for traffic-wise, definitely not built for an actual full team, but I feel like you can build up infrastructure.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So with my number 2, I'm going to go outside the United States.
We can do that?
We can do that.
Oh, boo. Come on, man.
Boo.
You didn't tell me that part of the rules.
Oh, do you want to take back Mobile?
No, because I really like Mobile, but okay.
I'm gonna go with London.
Yeah,
I think London's been a good spot for whenever the NFL travels over there. It kind of became a thing for what team was it that just like, was it the Jags that kept going over there and losing and they got to win this year?
Yeah.
Essentially the Jags became the London Jags over a period of time, but they have good crowds, man. They really do. So I'm going to go with London. I'm not going to lie to you. I do have another international team on here. I'll let the next international pick go to you. So I'll hold back.
Let's make that rule. You can only go one national team at a time.
Okay, like, so now that I've gone with mine, I have to wait till you go with yours. Okay.
Oh, I like that even better. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna go with San Antonio. It's currently the largest city without an NFL franchise. Yeah. It's a great marketplace.
Oh, I should have saved it.
And let me tell you, tell me that Coach Pop basically isn't the NBA's version of Bill Belichick.
Yeah, it is. He is. Yeah.
I will say I had an alternative city in Texas that I was thinking about going with, but I'm gonna go with San Antonio.
Okay, well, I'll go with the alternate location that you're talking about. I'm going to Austin.
Yep.
Just unbelievable energy. You know, you could easily pipeline dudes because they're already going to be coming in from high school. That was a good one. That was a good pause. It's a good pipeline of talent. Jesus. But yeah, it's a football city. People love it there. Definitely believe that could be easily one of those locations that are pretty creme de la creme for it. See, one of the other places,
maybe a little to Paris.
Oh no, we are not going to go to Paris. That would be a pretty cool one, but I don't think those snooty ass
the Paris cheeseheads. Oh, no. Screw them Green Bay Packers.
See, the Green Bay Packers would be loved there, cheeseheads.
That's right.
But of course, we're talking about cheddar cheese. These guys are all about like their brie and shit. But I mean,
well, hey, the French love stinky cheese, and there is no cheese that stinks the most than the Green Bay Packers.
You're gonna clip that one. I can guarantee you that one.
Fins up.
Yeah, there you go. That's an intro clip right there. Okay, so yeah, Austin, Texas, and then I am actually going. You know what? I'm going to go all the way to the beautiful country, my favorite country on earth. That's not the U.S., Switzerland. I'm going to go to Zurich.
What?
Yeah, German. So it's German side because we all know there's German. Germans love the game. They had that beautiful exhibition game in Germany. But Switzerland, it's a great destination. That city is definitely built to handle a large capacity of people. So it's not going to be like Mobile, Alabama, where it's going to be like 10-hour traffics. But, it's just a city that has a ton of energy. It's very working class, so people can actually afford to go to the games too, which is awesome. But it's a great destination. People go there for vacation all the time, and I can guarantee you they would love to go watch a football game there.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie to you, Alex. I had to Google it.
Zurich?
It looks beautiful. I am uncultured. I have never heard of this.
To be fair, I have one experience in Zurich, and it's at 3 a.m. on a train trip back from a city called Interlaken. If you've been to Switzerland, you know exactly what that is. It is gorgeous. Highest point in Switzerland. But yeah, had to get held up there at their train station until 3 a.m. trying to get back home. Talk about a fun experience. My goodness.
Golly.
I had to sleep in a Burger King in there. So if you go to that Burger King, I was there.
So, this is me being, ignorant.
Okay.
Are the portions in other countries a lot smaller than what we have here?
I wouldn't say, though. I wouldn't say, like, significantly. No.
I've read that, so I was curious.
I can guarantee you that maybe it's not as massive on a consistent basis, but when you go to restaurants that you want to eat at that aren't known for quantity of food, but are just actually known for being a place that you want to go to because you like the food. I mean, I wasn't underwhelmed by many things. I mean, you go to a place and you order lasagna, you get a sheet of lasagna that is relatively the same size here as it was over there in Italy. So yeah, I felt like it was relatively solid. If you go to the bougie restaurants, of course they're gonna skimp you out on portion sizes. That's what they do. But I didn't have the budget for that. But it's expensive over there. It is expensive.
All right.
Like it is here now.
So thus far, I have taken Santiago, London, San Antonio, and I'm gonna.
So good.
Oh,
that's my favorite city in Texas.
It just gets better. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take Oklahoma City. They currently have an already NBA franchise in the Thunder. They've been a good fan base, and I think, dude, the Oklahoma Sooner fans are nutty. Great fan base. They deserve an NFL team, so I'm going to get them one with Oklahoma City.
I like that.
I like that pick too. Thank you. All right, now that you've went international, I'm going to choose to go international as well.
Okay.
And I'm going to go with Montreal, and I'm going to return the Expos, but now in the NFL.
I like Canadian team.
Right. Fun fact also in the CFL, Montreal just won the Grey Cup. So, hey, maybe it's a football city. It's a football city now. We got the Great White North now up in this draft. I like it.
Okay, so for me, I'm going to go to Canada as well then. I'm going to go to Vancouver.
Oh,
tons of energy.
You're going to bring back the Grizzlies?
You know what? Let's bring back the fucking Grizzlies. I don't care. I love it. I have a big passion for what Vancouver has in terms of their overall energy. It's a beautiful spot as long as, it's not Mount Rainier. What's the volcano that's there?
You're asking the wrong person.
I think it's called
Mount
part of the
Fiji?
Cascadian. No, I think it's called a Cascadian Fault or a Cascadian Mountain Range. I don't know. It's one of those things, but is it Mount Rainier? Hold on. Vancouver. What is it called? Vancouver volcano? What is it called? It says Mount Baker. Am I tripping? I thought that there was or is that Seattle that has a fucking massive volcano?
Seattle does have a volcano.
It's Seattle I'm thinking of, then not Vancouver.
Or at least Washington State does.
Yeah. Anyways.
St. Helens, right?
Okay, so no, I'm not tripping. Then it must be Vancouver. Mount St. Helens is the closest volcano. Why am I tripping? I remember watching a freaking a documentary about this thing when I was 8 years old, man. Shoot. All right. Well,
should have paid more attention when you were 8.
Yeah, I know, right? Goddamn. All right. Well, so much for that. I mean, maybe we have some people who can actually comment it down below. All 146 of you. Much love. But hello there. But I will be going to Vancouver for my first choice. My second choice has to be in the US.
Pick.
It's my last pick.
This is your last pick. Well, we could extend it another round if you want.
No, we need to be limited because these picks need to matter.
They need to matter. I agree.
Damn, San Antonio is probably my favorite pick that has been taken so far. I didn't even think about that. San Antonio, awesome spot. I can't wait to go with my friends. Had a great time with my family. Luckily, can actually do that with them. I mean, shoot, thinking of other great spots. I'm thinking of the Northeast, but they're so overpopulated. I'm forgetting. The Panthers are in North Carolina, correct?
What is it?
Yeah, I just know
Raleigh, right?
Yeah, Raleigh's in North Carolina then. You know what?
Oh, you're gonna go Myrtle Beach?
I was debating that actually. I think I might be passing on that location. We've already gone to Texas. I mean,
Atlantic City.
You know what? Let's go Salt Lake City.
It was on my board. That's a good one.
Let's go Salt Lake City. That's obviously, I've actually chosen pretty wealthy areas, so they could probably privately fund it, which means that they'll probably have better locker rooms. Teams will obviously love to go there. People, again, it's a good vacation spot. It's going to be very profitable because people will buy season tickets because people love to go and watch. And people have money there. So it's going to be a very possible location if I'm an owner where I would be open to testing out the waters.
There you go. That's not bad. Again, it was on my board.
Yeah.
So with my final pick, I'm gonna go I'm gonna stick in the Midwest.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Omaha.
Omaha.
Listen, the Cornhuskers, those poor people have suffered enough. They deserve good football. And I was looking this up. Apparently, their market size rivals the Cleveland Browns.
It's not saying much.
I ain't saying much, but it's saying enough. So let's get an NFL team in Nebraska for their sake, not ours.
Okay, Mount Rainier is a volcano in Washington State. I had to look this up, man. I can't not look this up right now.
All right. While you're looking it up, I'm gonna go ahead and go back through our drafts. As Alex, with your first pick, you took St. Louis. I thought that was a really good pick. I mean, hey man, they had that memorable year with the Super Bowl against the Titans. Yeah, I definitely think that's a city that deserves a football team again. Yeah. You went with Mobile. Love that. Didn't even think about that one. That's a good one. Austin, Texas. Zurich.
Yeah.
Zurich, Switzerland. You learn something new every day. It looks beautiful from the Google images I popped up.
Yeah.
You went Vancouver and then Salt Lake City. For my draft, I went San Diego, London, San Antonio, Oklahoma City, Montreal, and Omaha. Honestly, that's kind of my favorite one because, man, the Cornhuskers have sucked for a long time, and I could feel for them. Last time the Huskers were good, I think the Hurricanes were good. So like, that one's kind of close to my heart a little bit. It's kind of close to my heart.
Well, I mean, Dylan Raiola, isn't that the kid that they just brought in?
I'm not saying things aren't looking up, but things were supposed to be looking up for Miami for the last 10 years. So, and it's been nothing but coaching changes. So
it's true. This is true.
Legitimately side note.
Yeah.
Fire Mario Cristobal because I think our opener is against Florida, right?
Mm-hmm.
If we lose that game with how big of a mess Florida is right now, fire him on the spot.
Mid-game.
At half, yeah. Get out of here.
Was it Vontae Davis who did that for the Bills?
Yeah, it was like, I think I'm going to retire, man. I'm an old man. I can't keep up with these kids anymore. Hey, y'all have a good game.
Oh, my God.
That's funny. That was honestly peak. And I mean, at least he did it behind closed doors and not like, Antonio Brown, who
did it.
Ran off the field.
Openly. Yep.
Apparently going bankrupt now or whatnot.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's just because he's getting sued. But, I mean, you can declare bankruptcy and do all that type of stuff. No need to go into finances, though.
Yeah, no need for that. But I think we did a good job here. Hopefully our next draft is going to be pretty darn good.
Yes. I will say, I'm curious, if you were to draft one more city, like what's a city in the U.S. that you kind of wish that you did? I almost would go Portland, Oregon. Maybe Eugene.
I thought about Portland. The other U.S. city I had on here, I'll tell you basically I had two cities I had left.
Okay.
I had Toronto, but Toronto was like, okay, it's either Montreal or Toronto. Toronto was kind of my fallback option.
Yeah.
And then I had Memphis. That's the next U.S. city.
Memphis makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
That's a great city for
Music City. Isn't that what they are? Music City? I always get them in Nashville confused.
That's natural. But I mean,
you know what they say about Memphis? Music City Part 2.
It's a shitty.
Oh, now you're just pissed off all the Memphis fans, bud.
You know what? Your barbecue's better though, low key. So shout out to you guys for that. Crime's worse. Right. So that's why I can't stay there overnight when traveling to Nashville. But that's okay.
Oh man. Let me ask, are you ready for this next one? This next mock draft?
It's going to be an interesting one. So no, but we're going to do it anyways.
I'm not going to lie to you. I prepared quite a bit for this one.
I know. I'm excited to hear it.
I spent a good 30 minutes like, ooh. Like, I got some good options. I try to think outside the box as well.
I'll go number one, though.
You'll go number one?
I want to hear a couple of yours. I have an idea of a really good bald thing.
Yeah. I'll be really sad if you take my number one.
I feel like I am.
I'll let you. Since I went number one in this last one, I'll let you go number one. So,
are you in the pool for this?
Hold on. We'll talk about it when we get there. Let me go ahead and
we are there.
Let me intro it first.
Okay.
All right, Alex. Today we are drafting things that are bald. We are gonna get 6 picks a piece. Maybe we go longer. I don't know. We'll figure out once we get there. But you're going to be starting us off. This is a snake order. So you're going to have the 1 pick. I'm going to have the 2 and 3. You will have the 4 and 5. You chose to have the first pick here.
I did.
Now break my heart.
Is Mr. Clean.
Oh, okay. Okay. My heart, not completely broken. Not completely broken. It's a good pick. It was on my board.
He's bright. He's exciting. He has a beautiful smile.
He ends up being lie.
Huh? Yeah.
Have you seen that commercial? Just
yeah, dude. I mean, the dude, he has the moves, which I don't. I suck at dancing. Fun fact. But, that's okay. We're going to get there eventually one day. Maybe. Probably not. But anyways, he's always clean. He's cleaning, so he's useful. Granted, should I go Harrison Butker? We're not going to get there too early. I was about to say, like, Mr. Clean. Well, he allows people to enjoy cleaning because he brings a positive energy to something that isn't very fun.
It's mundane.
Yes.
All right. So with my number 1, I really thought you were going to take this one and it was going to break my heart.
Okay.
I'm going to go with the bald eagle.
That's a good one. Even though it's not bald, but it's called
They're not bald, but it says bald in the name. Bald eagle. It is our national bird. It's a great looking bird as well. God bless America. Bald eagle is my number 1 pick. I'm not gonna lie. I was a little scared. I thought you were gonna go with bald eagle.
It's a good one. It is a very good one. I didn't even think about it. Probably would have thought about it though.
All right, now I'm gonna tell you how in the wheelhouse I am with this bald theme. Okay. With my next pick, and this is kind of like an RIP thing, because none of the people in this are dead. But I'm going to go with inside the NBA. I'm going to go with Charles Barkley. I'm going with Shaq. I'm going with Kenny. I'm going with Ernie.
Oh, come on. That's a large amount.
I'm going with the show. The best collection of bald people. I'm telling you, I was thinking outside the box. I was like, man, I love inside the NBA. So many great bald men. Oh, Charles Barkley, you make me laugh. Oh, Shaq, you're so funny. Shaqtus, that's great. How can I get all these guys? I'm going to take the whole show, Alex.
All right. You know what? You forgot 2 of the best bald NBA players, but I'm not going to.
I had to risk it for 4, dude. I had to package this pick.
I'm not going to go back to back with Jordan and Kobe, so I'll have to choose one.
Those are obvious ones.
Yes, because we want some form of biodiversity here, right? We don't just want the same thing. Not biodiversity. What? I remember I was talking about biodiversity recently. I don't even remember why, but we need some diversity of opinions and of selections. So I will be going Kobe Bryant. So 1, love his mentality. 2, got to meet the guy. 3, RIP. Broke my heart seeing him unfortunately crash. Fun fact, he crashed a mile away from where I used to live. So, that's.
I don't think that's a very fun fact, Alex.
Not so fun fact, but it is a fun fact. But yeah, he's had an impact on my life. Went to Kobe camp. That's where I got to meet him. And then also used to train at Mamba Sports Academy, which is now Sports Academy. So that was pretty cool as well. So he has a personal impact on my life. And, that's, something that at least for bald dudes, at least it's there. There's something there. I'm going to go a little off the rails here. Bald tires is going to be my
tires
is going to be my next selection because it means 2 things: either stupidity or a hell of a fun time. Guys who are drifting, you guys know how often you have to replace tires. It's probably an expensive thing as well because either you're crashing into somebody or else you're having to get new tires. But it is one of the main reasons for a lot of these Instagram reels is people not taking care of their tires very well and they're losing traction. They're randomly slamming into people, but of course, at the same time, there's a lot of idiots that end up on Instagram Reels rather than that. But if you guys see that in your feed, we have the same taste. But, it's a great way to add a lot more entertainment is when you just see people who want to have some fun, get to see some drifting, and then you get to see people gather around the drifters. And then sometimes people are a little bit dumb and get too close to the drifters, and then you get to see some fun pinball action.
I will say a very risque pick there, Alex.
Very risque.
I like it.
That was the first thing I thought about. I almost did my number one pick, bald tires.
All right. Well, now my pick has come here, and I have to go with Dr. Evil from Austin Powers.
That's a good one,
dude. He is great. Probably one of the most iconic movies. The Austin Powers trilogy is amazing. Dr. Evil is a great character. I had to get him.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna stick with movies because I think this one's funny.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Natalie Portman from V for Vendetta. When they shaved her bald. For one, that movie is sick. That is a great movie, V for Vendetta.
Yep. Okay. You want to just explain a little bit more about why you want Natalie Portman bald?
Well, Natalie Portman is a very good-looking gal, and she played I thought she did an incredible job in a great movie where she happened to be bald, halfway through. So there we go.
Okay. I'll piggyback off of your themes because that's just what allows me to think. And I'll go to the robots in iRobot because those dudes were very entertaining. It's a great movie. Will Smith, love him to death. And, they can kick ass. They were basically better versions of humans. Not better versions, but better at everything than the majority of humans. And, it was very interesting seeing, what it's like to see if we do end up.
I think I've never seen your girlfriend, Alex. Is she AI?
Maybe.
Is she ones and zeros?
Well, she's a 10 to me, so technically. That was a good one. I like that one. That was a pretty good one. Okay. I'm trying to think of what my next one is going to be, but I could just go back to humans being bald. You know what?
Seems like an easy one, right?
Yeah. I can't go with a dolphin, but I kind of think beluga whales are cute. So
they don't have hair.
They're bald. They don't even have.
Okay,
they look bald. They look bald. So I'll just say that I don't know. Do we count that or?
I'm gonna count it. It doesn't have hair.
I do. I have one more pick after this, right? Because I do have to look something up because I know what it is in my head.
I'm telling you, Alex, we could extend it too if you want to.
We need to keep it.
Lie. I have a lot of picks that I wouldn't mind going with, but you're right. For the integrity of the draft,
we can always say what we should have also included as a potential extension of the draft, because that's a good loophole. Man, I need to be a lawyer. Anyways, so
it's gonna be my pick.
Yep, beluga. They don't have hair.
This is tough, man. This is tough. I there's a few great options.
Yep.
I think I have to go with this one just because I'm an anime guy. I do. I'm gonna go with Saitama from One Punch Man.
Okay.
He is basically if you're unfamiliar with the show, it's a parody on superheroes. He's literally a guy that finishes every fight with just one punch, and the whole show is just him trying to find, hey, how can I get a good fight?
Yeah.
But it's really good. It's really fun. It's really entertaining.
Yeah.
It's a good ball. And it's funny. He got his powers by working out, right? And he ends up going bald. And that's when he gained all that. So where there's baldness, there's strength. So I had to go with that one, man. I had to go with that.
Okay.
I got one more pick here.
Yes.
Man. There's funny. I want to go with funny so bad. But I think I'm just gonna end it strong. I'm gonna go with cue ball. The cue ball, you play with it in billiards. It's that white ball that you're constantly pounding around and hitting. Is become a name that we call bald people. It's basically if you're a bald man, you're gonna hear it.
Mm-hmm.
Hey there, cue ball. So I'm gonna end it with cue ball.
Man, I can't find the thing I'm looking for.
Shoot. What are you looking for? It's your pick now. I don't have any more picks. You might as well.
No. Because there was this lady who was like, her hair was ripped out, so she was kind of bald, and then she was going nuts. And I just
Britney Spears?
Could use that one. It's Britney, bitch. That's a good line. I might use that. I might have to opt for that. I could go just the standard druggie in Oregon, since we were talking about Portland as a potential city.
I do have suggestions if you would like to hear them. I told you, this was the list I had the most fun with.
You know what? Let's do that. Let's do that.
Okay, I'll pitch some suggestions to you. Okay. So we could talk about people real quick. Of course, there's Michael Jordan. He's one.
Yeah.
Terrell Owens. There's Adrian Peterson. There's this really funny picture of Jerry Rice on the Niners where he was balled in. Like he had like kind of like
I could do you
braids, but they were like all back here. It was you should look up Jerry Rice balled in Raiders. It's pretty funny.
Okay.
There's also Mr. Freeze from Batman. There's Walter White.
Oh shit.
Bad. Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of a legit one.
So that's gonna be my choice, but let's continue on with the suggestions.
Okay. There's a couple of wrestling ones. There's Stone Cold Steve Austin. There's Kurt Angle. He's become a very popular meme recently.
Yep.
And then there's Sir Patrick Stewart.
Okay. Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis is a great one, actually.
Great one. But I will go Walter White.
Iconic.
One of so did you ever do a game called Water Assassins in high school? So basically, you're part of a team, and you're given a list of people you have to shoot or hit with water. You have to do it outside of school grounds. There's some certain rules. One of the guys on my team, his dad ended up coming to my school and talking at a chapel or like one of our talks. And apparently, he was the guy who pitched the idea for Breaking Bad to Sony. So that's why it was like when you said Walter White, I'm like, okay. Like that's what I'm gonna choose. But Walter White's a fucking badass.
Dude, he's iconic, man.
Yeah. He and Bryan Cranston. Is his name Bryan Cranston? Wait, who's the other guy? Bryan Cranston, and then forgetting the name of the other actor.
The guy that was
that was Jesse. Anyways,
I'm really feeling like I'm thinking of what his name wasn't his last name like Pink something in the show?
Pinkman. That's his
Pinkman?
Jesse Pinkman.
Okay,
regardless, they actually went to a Total Wine and More that was like right next to where I was living when they launched their brand. Aaron Paul. Yeah. So both of them started their brand, launched it at a very local Dallas store. So that's also why it's pretty cool. Local to home. Right. I was going to choose you though. You know what? While I was debating before that, I was going to toss in a Manscaped reference.
Manscaped was also on my board.
Yeah.
But I was waiting for you to use it, actually.
I know. It was going to be my last choice. And I was like, damn, I wasted a beluga whale choice.
Yeah, I know. I was like, beluga whale. Okay.
Yeah. You're like, it doesn't have hair. I'm like,
I guess most animals are bald. Then
I could have done a hippo, like, all right. I'm not gonna go. We're not gonna take this down a potentially destructive system.
Hold on. I gotta. You gotta see this.
Oh no.
All right. I'm gonna share the screen.
Okay. Here, I will help out with the brand. I will assist. We'll take that out. Yeah.
Look at that. Look at that.
You're just looking at a dude with an awful hairline.
Dude, well, he's bald now. He was bald in. You can't tell me this is iconic. This man went to the Super Bowl looking like that.
Yeah, that's pretty atrocious.
Look at that.
Dude, Loki looks like a ghoul for. Oh, I could have done the ghoul guy from Fallout.
You could have done Smeagol.
That's true. I wasted a beluga whale pick when we had all these other good ones.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought cue ball would have been nice, but then after I picked it, I was like, man, they were funny.
You should have done the Jerry Rice one. I didn't even think
I should have done the Jerry Rice. Dude, the Jerry Rice one was just so stinking funny, man.
That was interesting. You had a waifu tab open.
A waifu?
Mm-hmm. What's up with that?
Did I?
No.
Oh, I was like, don't tell my wife.
It's like, dude, like you're a man.
No, I was looking up Saitama.
You're a man of refined taste. I see.
Yes. I'm familiar with the hentai.
Yeah. It's like Manscaped waifu list. Blue Chew.
You want to talk about tentacles?
Oh my god, that's hentai. Jesus.
All in all, man, I thought that was fine. So going back over, I'll go over my picks first this time. I went with Bald Eagle, Inside the NBA. I was pretty proud about Inside the NBA.
That's a good one.
Dr. Evil, Natalie Portman from V for Vendetta, Saitama from One Punch Man, and Cue Ball. You went with Mr. Clean. Honestly, Mr. Clean would have been like my second pick. I was always going to go Bald Eagle first, but Mr. Clean was the next one up. Kobe Bryant, that was a great pick. Bald Tires, you had to sell me on it because when you said it, I was like, that doesn't sound safe, Alex.
That's what's fun about it.
iRobot, Beluga Whale.
The Beluga, baby.
And then Walter White.
Was that
honestly Walter White outside of Kobe might be your strongest pick up there with
Walter White? I think is my best pick, but
that was a strong way to end it. Better than Cue Ball, if you ask me, but kind of is what it is. Man, Bald Jerry Rice was right there, and I said no. What was I doing, dude?
Beluga Whale was there ahead of Bald Eagle for me.
See, this is why you prep. I just sat down for 30 minutes last week after we got done with our stream, and I was like, I'm going to go ahead and make up some choices. That way, I could just go in and be like, I like that.
I would never think of Bald Tires, though, if I actually prepared a list.
That's wild. Yeah, I would have never thought of Bald Tires because, safety first. But all right, next, let's go ahead and discuss next week. So do you want to go with best soda for one of them next week?
Let's just do food. We'll do some food topics. Yeah, like best soda, best cuisines. I think that's a good one.
Gosh.
That's gonna be a fun battle because we're gonna have to choose some ass cuisines at the end.
Yeah, I was gonna say, golly, I have to pick 6.
Yeah, well, we could debate that. We can do food.
Nah, we could push it. We weren't willing to make this draft longer. There ain't no way we're making it shorter.
This is true. Well, I was going to say we could modify it for within cuisines. Like, pizza, pasta.
Yeah, we should probably discuss the rules of like what specifically we're drafted. That way you don't get blindsided with like, I could go international.
Yeah. I was like, dude, we're talking about cities. Like, we didn't talk about in other countries. I was just like, oh, okay, this is gonna be an interesting one. I would maybe gone Boise, Idaho. That would be cool.
That's not another country.
Well, no, I was actually like looking, and I just saw Boise out of the corner of my eye. And I'm like, oh, maybe I should.
I gotcha. Do you want to stick with one football topic though?
Oh, we'll easily talk. Oh, you're saying for draft
for next week? Yeah.
Yeah.
We have to decide on that football.
I love the expansion team idea. Like maybe fan bases?
I mean, we just did it. Oh, you want to rank them? You want to draft fan bases?
Yeah, maybe.
You want to piss off people?
That's what I do.
Golly.
Let's see. All right. You know what? We could do countries for expansion. Like we say the best ones for expansion in terms of overall countries, not an actual city.
Country.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that could be tapped out pretty quickly.
I feel like we just did the cities. We could maybe like put that one in the future. That way we're not just doing.
I'm just spitballing
relocations.
ideas.
Yeah,
we could push these down the line. I don't give a damn.
We could do college football unis or uniforms or helmets.
We're supposed to do it this week, I think. College football logos.
Yeah. But then we went with the relocation because that's
let's
really
do the
fun.
logos.
You want to do the logos?
Should we do unis or logos?
Probably just logos, because then that way the unis come with it. The unis could be a part of the argument.
But man, I feel like they could be so separate. I mean, you can look at, Ohio State. Well, I think Ohio State to me
Penn
wouldn't.
State, that's a cool logo.
But
boy, they're basic.
I mean, I love the uniform, but it's very, very simplistic. Bama, very simplistic. But actually, Bama is a pretty simplistic logo too. They're overall.
Yeah, really kind of. You go to the uniform, it's just the number, but
So I think we can separate it.
Yeah, okay, we'll separate it.
Yeah, I like that.
Do you want to do unis or
let's do logos? Because that was the original idea.
Week?
Yeah, because I think unis are something that is going to. That's something that's an expansion rather than a contraction on an idea.
Okay, so with logos, they have to be this year. Let's do current logos. So
yeah.
That way, someone's not pulling we're not drafting multiple schools because maybe they had like a logo upgrade, but their logo was pretty solid to begin with.
Yeah.
Not that that's usually the case, but just in case.
Right.
Okay. So we'll do that, and then we're gonna do cuisines.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I do feel like that's so broad. Like, I feel like we should dive into one of them, like American cuisine, and we draft like food groups. Essentially.
Okay.
Like
I
barbecue,
like that.
Burgers, like that's Italian.
There we go, dude. That's it. So what cuisine do you want to hit first for next week?
Let's go American, man.
American
we're talking
cuisine.
about pizza. Well, I mean,
we're gonna have to come up with 6 American cuisines. So essentially, what are 6
Americanized?
American, exactly. Americanized.
Yeah, we're not talking about like Native American cuisine here. We're talking about Americanized pizzas, barbecue, Americanized hamburgers, Americanized
freedom fries.
Yes, the freedom fries. Because obviously all of these are important, but it's going to be a good way to what people genuinely associate with what American cuisine is. I think it's a good start.
That's gonna be interesting. That's gonna be.
I have a good idea for a future one. Vacation spots.
Ooh,
that's
talking
cool.
to the wrong person here.
Well, people can dream. We all go on Zillow.
My ideal vacation is I don't care where I'm at, as long as I have great people around me.
No,
I'm all about
you care where you're at if you have great people around you too.
I honestly on vacation I just want to chill with good buddies.
Imagine if you're in the middle of a hurricane, though. Not a vibe.
Why am I traveling? What am I, a tornado chaser now?
Dude, honestly, I kind of wish I
hop in the pickup, boys.
Yep. But
have you seen that movie Twister?
Dude, Twister's a good movie.
It is a good movie.
It's a good movie.
Like the 90s, like they had a good kick of like tornado movies.
Right. Yeah. We could do like theme parks too.
Ooh, that's true. That's true.
A good one.
Have you been to a lot of theme parks?
Not a lot, but I know people who have been around them.
I've been to a few.
Yeah.
So you'd have to really look.
Give me projection. This is your game. This is you.
Honestly, it would be like, okay, where are the sickest roller coasters? That's literally fair. I'm a roller coaster guy, so it's like
Six Flags is gonna be pretty high on your list, huh? Six Flags, Magic Mountain, baby.
Yeah, Six Flags was dope. I went there once. Had a great time.
Yeah,
Busch Gardens in Virginia is actually really good, like low key.
Okay. So see, we have plenty of topics.
I was gonna say I could probably name already 4 off the top of my head, so that's probably good. That's a good sign. So
that's a good one.
Amusement parks. Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. We could do sports that we'd want to own a team.
Sports where we would want to own a team?
Mm-hmm. Like sports that we'd be like wanting to own a team in. like soccer, NFL.
Oh, dude, yeah. If we're making 6 picks a piece, that gets rough.
We could do leagues. Like, what leagues do we want to have a team in? I can guarantee you're going to probably want something in like the Premier League before you want something in, the MLB. Maybe you want something in MLB.
I mean,
but
as far as like, if I'm the owner and okay, I'd have to make so much money. Like, oh yeah, if I'm an owner in the Premier League, I make a hell lot more bank than I would as an owner in like the NFL.
Yeah.
I mean, but I mean, how much money is too much money?
See, that's a pretty interesting topic, though, because then the reasoning could be very variant based on your choice.
Yeah.
People, you guys got to toss in some more ideas in here, though. Like, this is going to be made for all.
They think we're yapping.
Bunch of yappers in here. What's up? That's us. That's why I changed my title to 2025. Did I do 20? I think I did 2025. I swear if I did, okay, I did. Did 2025 summer scouting and yapping, or is 2025 NFL draft scouting and yapping? That's us.
Yo, man, but hey, dude, straight up, it was good today. See, we didn't even necessarily come prepared, but we knew what we were getting ourselves into.
No, you came prepared. I didn't.
But we knew what we were getting ourselves into, opposed to last week. Last week, I felt like it was a little more.
Yeah, it was a little bit more. Well, it's because we were feeling things out. I like that idea. I mean, that's obviously a contracted idea of what I said, but it's even better. GM of a current
team.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't mind the fan base one because I feel like that would piss people off, and I kind of like that.
See, but that's another really good one though, because it also combines fan base. But yeah,
and like well, not so much if you're the GM, you're really looking for like the best situation, you know?
Yeah. Owner, it's a lot more for cash, but running an operation, I think they're just talking about like what organization you have passion for. Obviously, I'd probably go, I'd probably go Dolphins first just to piss you off, but I definitely would go number 2 in that situation just because I know what your number 1 would be.
I'm not gonna lie. If we're talking about GM, I guarantee you it's not the Dolphins.
Well, I mean, you gotta assess the owner influence when that comes around. That's why I think
Ross sucks.
Yeah.
I think if I'm just owning the team, I would love to own the Miami Dolphins. If you're asking me to be the GM somewhere, Dolphins aren't gonna probably be the top 3 on my list.
Yeah,
just say that.
Okay. I think that's a good one. We can definitely talk more about that. Just a lot. It's good to spitball ideas at the end of these episodes. It's the yap session. Also, we're gonna be getting a flag coming in. We're actually gonna get shit in my background for once. That's cool.
Don't spoil what type of flag. Let them guess.
A pride flag.
It's better than what I was thinking.
I was
going to.
I thought that's what you were saying. I was
going to 1930s and 40s Germany.
Yeah. I was thinking you were talking about the 1830s and 40s, not the 1930s. Like, come on, man. Like, we're all supportive here. I should just have a Chiefs flag up. Oh man.
Chiefs flag? Gojo would.
We lost him to Johnny Wilson. R.I.P. Hey, Johnny Wilson's gonna show up this year. I'm calling it.
Hey, dude, Johnny Wilson's scared Devontae Parker into retirement, so
because he's that good. He's a beast. I'm telling you.
Parker has been.
Eagles found their contingency plan for AJ Brown in 30 years.
So Eagles also brought in John Ross. Did you see that?
Yeah, I love Marcus's comment that Howie's just playing Madden at this point.
I know, right? I'm like
that's a great quote. I'm turning this off because I am tired of having a migraine for y'all. Now we're good.
Yeah, we could probably wrap it up here.
We could.
Yeah, I got some stuff I got to do tonight. So
yeah, same thing with me. But I do have a couple comments that I'd like to quickly poke at.
Of course.
So RS Swimmer ended up talking about Javon. He's seeing if Javon Baker could be more productive than Jalen Polk. I had him higher than Jalen Polk.
That could happen.
I had him higher than Jalen Polk, so
yes. His opportunities, I don't think, are going to be as much as Polk, just given the draft position.
Right.
But I mean, dude,
he has a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah, I'm not going to say he's going to like Puka Nacua it, but that's a wide receiver room that needs a lot of help.
Yeah.
There's opportunity there for him to emerge.
There is. I think that something that would be cool is if we could do a draft of the receivers that we think will do well this year. Go like back and forth, like, because I don't think the receivers that we had ranked will be the production rate, huh?
Oh yeah. So essentially, like fantasy football draft.
We need to do a fantasy football thing. I don't give a crap how many leagues you're in. I don't give a damn.
I just said I'd be down.
I don't give a damn. You are down. I didn't need to hear.
God,
we just need to get Marcus on board. We just need to have a couple more people who would be posting more about it, because then that would make it into like a really cool series. I mean, I know a lot of people have been trying to do this, so
that's the thing. I don't try to put myself in leagues that I'm not really going to interact with people.
Right. That's why I need there to be more. By the way, you need to get an Xbox. I'm calling you out on live.
Yeah, dude. I'm not gonna lie. I've been thinking hard about it.
You got. I mean, to be fair, I have it right now.
Yes.
It's actually I really do enjoy the Xbox platform. I've had it my entire life. My dad's had PlayStation his entire life, so both have their merit.
He's trying to say I'm McGuire.
Yeah.
No, they just clowned you.
Oh. See, biggest draft questions of all time feature Sam McGuire. Man, hey, he's still on the Browns. It's not over. Yeah. But he did fall for me noticeably as the draft season went on. So that, luckily, at the end of the draft season,
hey, dude, your Isaiah McGuire is my Tamorrion Terry.
You loved right now,
because it's so wild. It's so wild.
He killed somebody though.
He killed someone.
Yeah.
Why has no one drafted him?
I mean, I think it's our Evan Neal as well.
Like, yeah, Evan Neal was a shared. I think Evan Neal is one that everybody. Yeah,
nobody could have seen that coming. Yeah,
nobody got that right.
He, I think, will have a resurgence this year though. If Jermaine Illuminor could become legitimately solid under this
they've been talking like at least our lads has him listed at guard.
I know. I think that's what they're gonna do, but the Raiders O-line coach elevated that offensive line so much, so I really think that he could get Evan Neal to be much better. There's still a chance.
Oh yeah, I'm holding out hope, man. But like
Zach Wilson, I guess for us too.
Yeah. I mean, I think that was more so the hype train. Maybe we just kind of fell into that.
Yeah.
Like the signs were there. All his plays were outside of structure. Honestly, we could have took what we learned about Zach Wilson and applied it to Malik Willis, but no, we learned the hard way.
Yeah. That's just because we don't want to like give up on players.
Oh, yeah, absolutely not.
We don't think history repeats itself and then get reminded that it does.
Sometimes it does almost only a couple of years later.
What was that? 2 years? Yeah.
I think it was just 2 years. Maybe it was 1 year. Because Zach Wilson was 2021.
Yeah, right? It was 1 year.
It was just 1 year later.
Jeez.
No.
Dude,
right?
What? Yeah, it was 2021 to 2022.
Yeah, 2022. Man, it feels like I was just doing the 2022 class.
I know. It's like, I look back, I'm like, oh, it wasn't the 2023 draft.
Yeah, it was just like yesterday. I was hating on Kenny Pickett.
Was that 2022?
It was 2022 because 2023 would have been Bryce Young, CJ Stroud.
Oh shit! Damn, we really are removed, aren't we?
Yeah.
Damn.
We're kind of at a point where, hey,
wow,
we have good takes and we have bad takes.
Wow. Damn, I feel old. I feel like it was like yesterday. Like literally, I'm like, oh no, it's the last draft cycle.
Let me tell you about these youngins, Luther Burden.
Oh yeah, I mean the fact that we're already scouting, we're already talking about it, that probably is what also makes it feel so far away. because we're already introducing another class that we shouldn't talk about probably for another like 7 months.
Well, hey, if people want a good watch list and enjoy themselves during college football, then hey, you come to the right place.
I'm debating changing the title of my rankings videos to like names like the top or names to know or the edge rushers to know for the 2025 NFL draft. Like, I just feel like it's more inviting than just saying the top guys.
Yeah, I put a little something in front, like just like my blurb. So
yeah, you're like, this is a legendary class, and it's like nobody's a starter.
Did I say legendary?
I don't know.
I said special, which you can take that one of two ways.
Aaron Donald's in this class.
No, he was just in the thumbnail. I didn't put him in the title. Everyone else drew their own conclusions.
Oh, okay. I thought you said, is he the next, or was that part of your tweet? I know I thought you said Aaron Donald.
Literally, Aaron Donald, I don't think I'm fairly confident Aaron Donald's. He's just in the thumbnail, and that's it.
I'm going to look this back up while you talk.
And you know what's fun fact? I think I'm pretty confident that I say in the video, I'm not saying this guy's the next Aaron Donald because I'm not. But he's absolutely in the thumbnail.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just trying to look at it right now. Is the next Aaron Donald in the 2025 NFL draft? That's literally the title. Get out of here.
Give me a second. No, it's not.
It's the title. I'm like, why do I think that you said that? It's literally the title of the video.
Well, fun fact, the answer's no. I answer it in there. Maybe it's a question people have, Alex. Do you ever wonder about that?
Oh my God. No wonder you only got 1 like on this fucking tweet. Dude,
no one likes those retweets of videos, dude.
No one ever likes a freaking tweet with a link in it. It's
but
I will dead ass say coming soon with the thumbnail. Like straight up 15 people like it minimum. I put the actual video, like 2 people. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I thought y'all were excited for this. Like, show some love. Now I sound like Ben Affleck on the Tom Brady roast. See, we could do a ranking of the Tom Brady roasters.
A ranking of the Tom Brady roasters?
We're going to have to get to Ben Affleck and Randy Moss by the end, so we're going to see who's worse.
Oh, was it Edelman that had the Aaron Hernandez joke?
Everybody had an Aaron Hernandez joke.
Oh,
I mean, Tom had a fucking 9/11 joke. That wasn't crazy.
Dude, I feel like if a tragic event, if you're like 20 years past it, it's okay to joke about it now publicly.
Yeah.
Like, you could always joke around about it privately, but
you
do
no shit. It was just funny as hell that he did it. And the way he set it up, 2 jets, September 2001, crashing tragically, and then it's like into Drew Bledsoe. I'm like,
there's this dad jokes channel where they go back and forth with dad jokes trying to get the other person to laugh. And there's this Asian guy, and he was like, it was like, what was it? It was like something, why were the Twin Towers like mad or something like that? And it was like, oh, because when they ordered pepperoni pizza, but all they got was plain. I think it was on a YouTube.
That's a good one. I
came across it and it broke me.
I like that. Speaking of bald tires, I just saw a dude get hit by a biker get hit by a Porsche.
To piggyback off of that, I was just telling my wife the other day, I've been noticing so many more car crashes while driving. Like this last month. Yeah, like I had one right down the street from me where like this van or this truck was trying to transport a couch. And I don't know if the couch fell off and then caused the car accident or if the car accident happened and the couch rolled off. But there was one right down the street that had that. There was another one where it was like just truck freaking totaled, annihilated. And then there was like another fender bender that was a little further up the street from me. But I was like, man, I feel like, is it just me or suddenly are people just not driving well anymore? Is it just this month?
Suck ass at driving. Dallas is way worse.
I've been noticing dead squirrels on the road.
This guy's hunting for dead squirrels. I can guarantee you. I love it, swimmer.
Hey, I turned a bunch of baby quails into orphans like 10 years ago, right? So
that's a one-liner.
So I'm driving to work, right? And I worked at a like an HOA golf club, like golf resort, whatever.
Sure.
And I'm driving up this hill, and here comes this quail and the little family behind it, right? Mm-hmm. So I don't know why, because normally it's like, okay, let me slow down and let them cross the road. But me, I was like, oh, I need to speed up so I can go past them. So I speed up, and that front quail, I assume the mommy quail, just took flight. Bopped my freaking side view mirror, and I just look, and I see the body, and I see the birds huddled around it. And I was just like, dang, dude, I'm a monster. And it's funny because I got into work, and my buddy was like, yeah, we just had a bird in here, and I got attacked. And I was like, wasn't a quail, was it?
Dude, and then like some dude's probably gonna be on his phone driving and doesn't even see all the quails and just rams them all.
Oh, see, that's way worse. See, I just made them orphans. He killed the rest of the family. That's terrible. Well, I wasn't even on my phone.
Intentional though.
I just made a terrible decision.
Yeah, what was a terrible decision? The other one was
I wasn't being I wasn't irresponsible. I would just, I had a yes/no question and I picked wrong.
Yep. Oh man.
You live and you learn, Alex. You live and you learn. You slow down when people are across the street. You don't speed up to try to pass them.
Because you never know when a mama bird takes flight and hits your fucking windshield.
You never know, man. What if that happens to be a family of people one day, and that mama person tries to take flight? We both have the same idea. We need to hurt bald tires. So even if I wanted to stop, I couldn't.
See, it makes bad decisions worse. Good decisions, bad decisions. Talk about overpowered. I'm telling you.
Golly. All right, Alex. I got to hit the road, my friend.
Yeah, I haven't left my apartment today.
Oh.
It's work from home day.
Well, that's not true. I did leave my house. I had to drop my kids off at daycare.
Yeah. Fortunately, Whole Foods is closed, but I can't even afford Whole Foods in this rate. Dude, I gotta admit though, maybe we should do like best sales. Because Whole Foods, when stuff's on sale, you use the Amazon Prime discount. It actually makes stuff.
I would have to tag my wife in for that one. I
have yet to even see what she looks like. I see the hand.
I hide my family. Gojo is literally not even my other dog gets shown on camera. Only Gojo. Yeah. And that's because Gojo has good merch.
Shout out to merch.
Dude, shout out to my Gojo mugs. And they're only going to get better too. I'm switching merch shops, so.
Oh, where are you going to?
Fourth Element, I think it's called, or is it Fourth Dimension? Let me look. Fourth Wall? I think it's Fourth Wall. It's Fourth Wall.
Fourth Wall.
That's cool. But I've been trying to make the transition the last 2 months. I just don't have the time to put up all the merch. I'll probably get it done this summer, but my new Gojo mug is just so much better looking too. It's real nice.
Yeah. We need to start doing some actual Draft Bros videos.
We kind of do.
We do. We've been promising and delivering.
Yeah, we've been under-delivering.
Which, to be fair, I've been I owe my own subs a new series that I'm working on for the deep dives, but it's just a little twist. It's gonna be more just draft focused and then season like record prediction.
Okay.
Yeah,
I am currently working on my third deep dive episode.
Yeah. Well, I'm right now just trying to work how I can make the record prediction look good without making it an hour just to type in everything.
Yeah, I'm telling you, dude. That's what I'm doing for this deep dive series. I essentially just make 4 different overlays. Yeah. And then everything else is just like on the screen.
Okay.
So
see, I love what I did with my last series where I have it like basically like drawn up like a Have you seen one of my deep dives? It's just basically like I have it listed
Like
the wide receivers.
I saw
like,
the one, I guess the off-season guides you were doing.
Yeah. So very similar to that. That's the foundation of it. But it's gonna be very similar to the off-season guide. Except I'm not gonna predict who to fucking cut because I'm so done with that. I've never once ever regretted a decision so heavily as to go.
Oh, dude, I loved it. I had so much interaction on, dude, those free agent videos. Who gets traded? Who gets signed? Who gets cut? Like,
oh, that's fine. But we do every
so
single team. Oh, brother.
Yeah, well, I did it all in one video, dude. Yeah, my video did views.
Yeah,
people like free agency. It's literally Christmas.
Yeah, I gotta get into that next year. It's a new thing.
Yeah, but like for the deep dives, I just like when it comes to like going over the free agents, the actual roster, like the only things I make overlays for are the efficiency rankings from last year, the coaching staff, then I just do the starters on offense and defense, and then I just go to our lads to talk about the actual depth on the team.
And so do you think that it would be a better strategy for me essentially to do 2 video portions, like do one as like do my normal similar to what I did with the offseason guide for basically roster breakdown, and then end up just going to essentially a second video attached, like, you know, it's going to be conjoined as one, but a second portion that's just me on playoff predictors breaking down the schedule?
Are you saying like per team?
Yeah, it's going to be per team.
I would make that. I would just make them into like one video separate.
Oh, it's gonna be one video. Yeah, but I'm just saying basically 2 different parts of one video. It's not gonna be put up as 2 parts.
Oh, so you're saying
I'm recording it in 2 different spots. Basically, I have my actual roster breakdown, draft class, and then end up looking. Hi, Goj. And then end up doing.
The only member of the family that gets shown.
Yeah, the real member of the family, the only member of the family that exists. The other one is that's AI. It's just a robot arm that comes out of nowhere.
I was gonna say you've seen a hand.
Yeah, I've seen a hand. It's just we don't know if there's anything attached.
So what you're saying is no, it's literally just a hand. That's all I need.
That's it.
But so you're saying you're gonna make like just a NFL like playoff predict or NFL season predictions video?
No, so I explained it poorly. It's just gonna be one video as a deep dive. It's just going to be like for recording wise.
Oh, like you would just
join.
You can do that, dude. I do that sometimes. Like sometimes I have to come back and like, okay, I can't fit in the rest of this because I have other things I got to do today. I'll come back and record the second part of this.
Right.
I just make sure like if it's like, okay, if I'm doing the deep dive, then I'm gonna at least get up to like the coaching staff, and then when I come back, then I'll do offense, defense. So it's not like I'm kind of like just breaking in the middle of it or something, you know.
Because I'm talking about like a flow of style. Like, because I was having it just basically all graphical and not an actual live selection of the games. More so, like I do that beforehand, have everything prepped, and then just talk about everything that I've decided beforehand.
I would also say don't spend too much time on it just because the videos don't do that well this summer.
That's what I'm trying to do because literally my girlfriend ended up making these beautiful graphics for it. For the Bears, and I was like, how long did it take you? Did it take you like 10, 15 minutes? Like, it looks great. And she's like, it took me an hour. And I'm like, there's no reason to be spending an hour on the one slide that people don't give a shit about. I'm going to be brutally honest.
Yeah.
In terms of presentation wise, like no one cares.
Yeah. Cause at a point, like I would love more like production in that. It's just the views aren't worth it at this moment.
I know.
Especially when it comes to like NFL stuff, because you got to be really like careful.
Yeah.
Because like I've been putting highlights at the beginning of my videos just to
that's risky.
It is. I keep it to like 6 seconds, and then I'll throw like a like different color palette on it that darkens it a little bit. Are you coming in or are you coming out, bro?
That's a true level of scamming right there. I love it.
Well, I mean, I know People like because it's freaking fair use. That's the thing.
Well, you're making money off of it though. It's fair use if you're not making money. That's why they demonetize videos.
It's stupid, dude.
I know. But that's why on like Just Bombs Productions and stuff, they there's no ads. Like they can't do that. But they have, I think, so I know my buddy Elite Takes, Nico. He doesn't make money off of the highlight clips he puts up. He makes money off of the sponsors that he puts in those videos because of the attraction.
But at this point, like if we're not making that type of money right now, there's no point in upping the production because it's like it's just taking too much time. And yeah. Go Joe, buddy.
The thing I love most about these streams is the fact that I say this every time when we're doing the meat of the content that we think people should be like the most present for, the lowest amount of people are live. The moment we just start yapping about random shit, that's when everybody is just chilling. We just need a full podcast at this point.
Oh, I started my podcast.
I mean, I could literally convert.
I say podcast.
Podcast.
I literally just been converting videos to. I've been putting them on a host platform and just.
Well, YouTube now has it just on their platform.
Huh? YouTube?
Yeah, YouTube.
Yeah. I'm talking about being on like Spotify and like Apple Podcasts.
I don't know. Maybe you could redirect it from YouTube to Spotify and such.
Well, I mean, all I do is I have like the host the hosting thing that sends it to those different sites. Yeah. So I just have to when I upload or when I export my videos, I just export one with the video and one with the audio. Takes no time. I use the same description.
Yeah.
So like it's not bad. I mean, I'll see how it ends up working out. I mean, I'm just trying to pull in different audience or more views.
Just more. Yeah.
But I'm still waiting to be accepted on Apple Podcasts. I just applied for that yesterday, so I'm not going to push it as a podcast until like on my channel. Yeah. Until like that, but
so for me, I actually did that a couple years ago. Had a podcast, and my only actual one that I did specifically for podcast was a Caleb Ellaby scouting report.
Dude was young, I'll say that.
Man, I actually had some hope for that kid too.
I don't know. Did he come out early too?
I think so. Yeah. Did he go to the Browns? Wild. Was it the Browns that took him?
It sounds like something Browns would do. Were they at that stage where they were taking guys like what was that cat's name from Notre Dame? They took him in the second round, like
the second
like 20,
oh my god,
17 or something.
Shoot, oh, what's his name, dude? There was a kid who looked exactly like him at my school. It was fucking hilarious. Damn, what's his name?
It's like Deshaun
Kaiser.
Kaiser. I kept thinking Budweiser. I was like, that's not right.
Deshaun Budweiser. Oh my god,
dude. But yeah, like,
oh man. Okay. Let's see. Caleb Ellaby. He's in the XFL apparently. That's cool. Oh, he's now in the Canadian Football League.
Yeah, I was gonna say the XFL's UFL now, right?
Yeah,
they merged.
Yeah, but I mean, it popped up when I was doing a search query, so I was like, oh, maybe it was before they merged. Yeah, right now he is in the CFL. Damn. Western Michigan, baby. Shoot. It's too bad. My podcast was excellent. It really wasn't. It was really bad.
It actually sucked.
All right, let's see Bleacher Report's scouting report for him. What was their range for him? What was their grade? Geno Smith. Discount Geno Smith. 175.
I really liked Geno Smith coming out. Wasn't that a really bad draft anyway?
It was. I remember that. I don't remember actually the draft. I remember them talking about quarterback draft-wise. It was pretty bad.
Yeah, because that was the same as like Jimmy Clausen, right? No.
Jimmy Clausen went to my high school.
Was it Clausen or am I thinking? Yeah, it was Clausen, yeah.
I can't remember if I'm going to be
It
honest.
was because I always get him and Brady Quinn confused. I forget which one's older.
I think Brady Quinn's old.
It's Brady Quinn. Brady Quinn was drafted when I was like first in high school.
Yeah. I was like,
but I don't know why, man. Basic white quarterback for Notre Dame. That's why.
There you go.
Basic.
Dude, I want to go back to LA so bad. My mom's there right now on business. And it's like, I just want to go back. I want to be able to see the Los Angeles Rams facility. Just my goal.
Oh, I bet you they got a great facility.
They do. Well, they also have a local office up to where I used to live in Agora. So it's like I always wanted to just peek in there. I could just be like, yo, with Brennan Jackson. Fuckers.
Oh, hey, buddy.
Yeah. It's like, what's good? And he's like, nothing. I'm getting cut. No, I'm just kidding. Brennan's going to be great.
Nice.
Yeah. No, he's good.
I mean, that's a team.
Well, I'm going to take that back.
That's for sure.
No, I was being a dick.
Okay.
No, yeah. I mean, if you're drafted in the 5th round, there's an obvious vision for you. It's not like you're a 7th round pick and teams are afraid of you being taken UDFA.
I mean, the occasional 5th rounder will get cut, but
I would doubt that'd be him.
Clausen was not drafted in 2010, was he? Well, no, yeah, because Geno would have been in the league for a minute.
Yeah.
Right?
I think Geno was older than Cam, is he not? Is he? Hold up.
Well, if anything, I know Clausen was on the Panthers at that time, regardless.
2013. No, we were
Geno
wrong.
was 2013. What was Clausen?
The Geno Smith draft.
He was really 2010? That's
I knew.
wild.
I just didn't know that. I didn't know that Geno is that in quotes young.
Well, shoot, that means what? Like Brady Quinn would have been all of maybe like what 6 years ahead of that.
Gonna be honest, I'm not a huge fan of this draft overall. For the first round,
Brady Quinn was only 3 years before that. Holy moly!
Yeah. Eric Fisher. So in terms of guys who got Pro Bowls from the Geno Smith draft, was Geno a 2nd round pick? He was, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
West Virginia, Mount Mama,
take me home, country roads. But he has Eric Fisher, Lane Johnson. So Lane Johnson's actually super talented. Ziggy Ansah, Sheldon Richardson, Eric Reed. Really love Eric Reed. Eric Reed was. Am I tripping?
I don't know. Are you?
Who am I thinking was on the all-time Chiefs safety?
Barry
Reed. Oh, Eric Reed's solid, but not Barry Reed. I fucking love Barry Reed. Kyle Long, Tyler Eifert, Desmond Trufant, Xavier Rhodes.
Oh, this was the EJ Manuel. Yeah, this was a bad class.
Yeah.
Mike Glennon got a little payday from the Bears after his first contract.
I still remember that day. I was so mad.
Wow, yeah, no, this quarterback class was bad.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it was real bad.
Damn.
Sam Martin's been around for a long time.
Sam Martin?
I didn't realize the punter.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't realize he was all the way back. Then again, punters last forever, so it should be.
You know what? You know what we should do a draft of? People who we want on our show.
People who we want on our show.
If we had everybody available, we got to draft them.
Thirsty boys.
Well,
we're going to come off as.
I don't know. It's a fun idea to just show like, hey, I mean, in 2024, we said we wanted to have Daniel Jeremiah on our show. Look at us in 2038.
Golly.
End me now.
Don't I have a podcast? Like
what?
Thumbnail? I'm trying to convert one of my
Why are y'all here?
Yeah, I know, right?
Like, where were y'all at the beginning of the video? Like,
Try and turn one of my playlists into a podcast. Whatever, I don't care.
Can you duplicate? I try to duplicate it first, though. Then you could dupe a playlist first, and then you could do that. I'm gonna test it out right now. Damn it, no. But I guess who gives a damn? People aren't gonna be going into playlists. When was the last time you went to a playlist?
A couple of days ago.
Really? Oh, okay. See, I go for like recent stuff.
If it's music I'm listening to on YouTube, I will, or if it's a series I'm watching.
That's understandable. Yeah. Okay.
So I'm looking at the running backs from this class. And I think there's only 2 of those guys still in the league.
Okay.
Because Rex Burkhead just retired, I think.
Retired.
It's what is it? Latavius Murray, right? Right? Does that sound like a running back?
Latavius, yeah.
Yeah. So he was in the 2013 class. Where was he picked?
Oh,
and then Cordero Patterson.
Yeah. Was Latavius a first-round pick?
No. Oh, here he is, 6th-round pick.
Okay. Latavius has been good.
He's been good. He's like one of the more underrated.
I still have this here from draft night, by the way. Fucking Patron. You can tell I don't drink because it's still the exact same amount.
All right.
I just don't drink.
All right, man.
Anyways,
have to go.
Well, to all you amazing people who are hanging out with us right now, make sure to go follow us everywhere that we do business. So Hail Mary Sports and Real Broshmo on Twitter/X. And then also Hail Mary Sports and Broshmo on YouTube. Feel free to also follow on Draft Bros because like we promised, we're going to be delivering some content. We just got to figure out exactly what series because all the series suck right now. We usually just put series that won't get very much traction over there. We should just post these as well. Like when you do the random vids, like the random mocks, that's perfect for Draft Bros too.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have the sign on for it. You can go for it too.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm gonna repurpose this sucker.
Yeah.
And see how it does at the very least.
Yeah. But make sure, subscribe. It's the dead season. We just kind of want to do this every Friday just to hang out with y'all, have a good time. It's a vibe. Are you like, eating ass or something?
Why do you think I gotta go? Why do you think I gotta go right now?
No. And that's why we will be sponsored by Manscaped to make sure that your experiences are uninterrupted. Anyways, you want to sign us out?
Yeah. Thank y'all so much. If you haven't already, hit that thumbs up on your way out. It's much appreciated. Much obliged. If you're on X, then head over to our YouTube channels. Go ahead, subscribe if you're not, and hit that thumbs up on the stream. It's always much appreciated. Much obliged. Just because the football season is long and away doesn't mean we're done talking football, because for us, the draft season's just begun. So, as always, until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.
Now we have to end the stream too. It's not even.
I'm gonna hit it. Calm down. Hey.